You are now rocking with the hottest boxing podcast in the land with your host, Coach Malachi Williams.
True.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Yeah. What's up, family? This is our boy, Coach Malachi Williams in the building. We back. Too Many Podcast, man. We are back. We back up in this bitch. Making it do what it is. Hump day. They call Wednesday hump day, right? The middle of the week. Hump day, whatever. That's what they call it. Salute to everybody, man. Y'all know what time it is, man. We finna get it in. I was editing yesterday's show. You know what I mean? So I got some videos dropping from yesterday's show. So y'all be on the lookout for that. Shout out to CJ from the 504. CJ, I gotta make you a moderator over here in this other chat. I gotta remind myself to do that. I got to film. I got to CJ. I'm gonna make you a moderator with another chat. Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Y'all know what time it TI is, man. Y'all share this live show. It's gonna be a good one. You know, we have good shows over here. It's gonna be a good one. Our doors are open. Our doors are open to the Wakanda niggas, the Shea Butter Laptop Revolutionaries, and the Butter Biscuits. Anybody? We had a Butter Biscuit call the show yesterday. Wakanda nigga, certified fuck boy. You know, I hate Wakanda niggas and I hate Shea Butter Laptop Revolutionaries and the Butter Biscuit. So, we are into some black on black over here. You know what I mean? That's what you want, you're gonna get it. You know what I mean? That's what you want, that's what you're gonna get it, my nigga. It is what it is. Coach Malachi is with the shits. I'm with everything and all things when it comes to you Shea Butters. It is what it is. Yeah, man, but shout out to everybody, man. You know, good. Hope everybody having a great day. You know what I mean? I hope everybody having a great day. It is what it is. The Wakanda nigga killer is here. The old me is back. Old Coach Malachi is back. I tried to reform Coach Malachi. I tried to be nice. That reform and nice shit ain't working. True. I'ma just be who the fuck I am. I don't know how to be nothing else. You know what I mean? So the old me back. The old me is back. You know what I mean? We finna start roasting niggas. We gonna step on niggas. We're gonna be very disrespectful. We disrespecting niggas' mammies. We disrespecting niggas. However, we do anything. Ain't nothing off limits. Nothing off limits. Fuck them. Anyways, it is what it is. Shout out to everybody, man. We back. We back up in this bitch, man. We back. We are back. Yes, sir. Shout out to Highlight Space. Our money always getting money, man. CJ from the 504. Shout out to Green Eyes P. Jamie from New York. Daniel Agnew. JC. Round one. Unlaced Shoes. Marcus King. Who else we have? John, what's going on, brother? Polo Buck. Polo, what's up, fam? Hey, Polo, I saw you. Hey, Polo, I saw you over there on the boxing boys this morning, man. I was in the gym working out. Getting my swole on. And when I was on the treadmill, I saw I think that was you, Polo. That was you. I think that was you. Shout out to Jazz Sport. Polo Buck. What's going on, brother? Mr. Marcus King is in the building. Jamie from New York, Brooklyn. LT is here. Shout out to Snapshots Review. Snapshots, what's going on, fam? Window Liquor. He said window liquor. That's a hell of a name. Hey, shout out to Nate. Hey, Nate, I was thinking about you today, Nate. Oh, I'm dead ass serious, dog. I was gonna call you. I said, man, damn, man, I hope Nate all right, because you ain't dropped the video in probably like a few days. So I was kind of, you know what I mean. I was gonna, hold you accountable. I was gonna be your accountability reminder. Like, look here, man, you got hold on now. You ain't dropped nothing. You know what I mean? You got to tighten up on your backstroke. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? It is what it is. This thing is about consistency and growing and getting better. That's how it's gonna be. Yes, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is what it is. Shout out to Trey. Trey from the Shoutout. Trey, what's up, fam? Shoutout in this bitch. Hey, Trey, you know what? Let me tell you something, boy. I got a lot of game. I got a lot of game from them brothers from the Shot. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Shit, when I was every time we used to go to Chicago for Savior's Day, like I get there like a week ahead of time, and we'll be hanging out in the Shot all week. You know what I mean? I'm hanging out in the Shot all week, man, with the brothers and shit when I was in the Nation and shit. Because like kind of like all the lieutenants and captains hung out together for the most part, like the lieutenants and shit like that from like different regions, like the Western region, the Southern region. Stuff like different regions and stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? So we all hang out and shit. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, I learned a lot of game. I learned a lot of game from brothers that's from the Shy, like them old heads. Them old heads, man. You get what I'm saying? Them old heads. I'm talking about when they had the Cabrini Green projects. I'm talking about them days. Them days. He said, just don't go to O Block. No, I ain't never been to O Block. You know what I mean? To be honest with you, if I did, I don't remember. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the 90s, fam, like the 90s, the 90s and like the early 2000s. The 90s and like the early 2000s. Shout out to Big John Doe. Big John Doe, what up, though? The players from Detroit too. See, this is why I got a lot of love and respect for Chicago, boy, because I know how to shine. I'm talking about the old heads. I ain't talking about the young niggas. These young Chi-Town niggas, yeah, I don't know nothing about that. Them young Chi-Town niggas seem like they on some other shit. I don't know nothing about that. I'm talking about like the niggas, the brothers that's around my age, who don't been through it. You get what I'm saying? Like I know, you know what I mean. Someone watch this show right now. I call them and talk to them. You get what I'm saying? I call them and talk to them, man, and they be like, yeah, I say, I'm good. Yeah. Hey, shout out to old Kiefer. Old Kiefer, what's going on, fam? Jazz Funk 22, what's happening? Yeah, man. It is what it is, man. Shout out to Guillermo. Guillermo, what's going on, brother? Brother, what's going on? Yeah, what's going on, fam? What's happening, fam? It's always good to see my brother. Always good to see. Yeah, we don't set trip over here. Hey, shout out to John. John, what's happening? Yeah, we don't do no set trip. We don't do no goddamn set trip. It ain't no need. The white man control everything. True. I can't set trip by some shit that I really don't own or control, really, to be fair. This shit is an illusion anyways. Because what you think you know, you don't know. And if I told you what it is, you wouldn't believe me anyway. You want to stay in the matrix, so we're gonna leave it at that. Shout out to Bruce Gas. Bruce Gas, what's going on? G Funky is in the building. G Funky is in the building. Talk to me. Shout out to G Funky, man. G Funky, man. He got G Funky doing this thing, man. I don't know if you got any. I don't know. Hey, G Funky, how Jay Sean doing? What's his name? Jay Sean? Yeah. Shout out to G Funky. He said, greetings, coach. He said, overpaying fighters is terrible for the health of the sport. But all promoters are guilty of it. Yeah, I don't think no promoters pay. I don't think no promoters pay nobody like Turki Alalshihk. Hey, G Funky. Listen. All promoters might be guilty of it, but hold on. I don't know about all promoters now. Listen, G Funky. I don't know about all promoters. I'm being top rate, but they say, listen, they say top rate, boy. Can squeeze blood out of a turnip over there, boy. I heard they keep their purse strings close to the vest. Top rate don't overpay nobody for what I've been in. They gonna pay you your market value, but you ain't gonna get overpaid. You get what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I mean, that's what I heard. Unless you know something I don't know. And I don't know nobody really in at Golden Boy breaking the bank. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Unless again, if Turki Alalshihk ain't involved, I just don't, you know what I mean? If Turki Alalshihk ain't involved, I don't listen. I don't see nobody else getting overpaid. Now maybe you can say PBC. Now PBC known for doing that. They know Al Heyman was known for doing that for a while. You know, he done ran through them good white folks' money from White Allen Reed. When I say good white folks, I'm just being sarcastic. I'm just being funny. It's a joke. It's an inside joke. You know what I mean? You know, if you're not on the inside, you won't get it. Yeah, but yeah, you know what I mean? So yeah, you know, I heard okay, I'll do that over there, you know, with his top fighters, like the Javante Tank Davises and the top guys. Now I hear the lower tier guys who ain't got no fame over there, they get a regular price. True. What the same family say, Joe Sean took a tough loss against Lester Martinez. I saw that fight. I saw it. He said, but he's back in the gym getting ready for his next opponent. Yeah, I saw it. You know, Joe Sean, I'm gonna just be honest with you, G. Joe Sean just gonna be a journeyman in boxing. And I think he know that. And I'm pretty sure you know that. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think he's just gonna be a journeyman in boxing. You know what I mean? You know, he has the heart to get in the ring and fight. And you know, but he's not on, you know, he's the average blue collar fighter. You get what I'm saying? And you know, and G Funker, you know, most of boxing, probably 99% of boxing is blue collar fighters. If not 99%, about 95%, because you got the lower tier fighters, which is like the 90-something percent, the other 90-something percentile, and then you have the 1%, which would be like the Canelos and the Joshuas and the Furies and stuff like that, the Usyks and you know, the New A's, the Crawfords, the Errol Spences or whatever, and then the Javante Tank Davises, the Ryan Garcia now and the Haney now and the Shakur now. But, you know, like I said, it ain't a bunch of them running around boxing. Then you got everybody else. Then you have like the mid-tier, and then it's everybody else. True. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, when people think about boxing, they say, yeah, man, they make a lot of money in boxing. They talking like all the fighters make a lot of money. What they be talking about is the big name fighters. Because the average person on the street, they only know the big name fighters. They only know the big name fighters. That's all they know. They know Tank, they know Canelo, they know Crawford, they know Spence, they know you know, Tyson Fury, Joshua, you know, the Devin Haney, you know, Shakur Stevenson. They know those guys. You get what I'm saying? Hey, shout out to G Funk. He said, I know, coach. I've been around fighters for long enough to understand that. Yeah. You know, you already know. Anyway, let's get into the show. Let's see what Bob Arum talking about. So, is Bob Arum right? I know some of you Nick Sacks out there, you Chicken George Sambos, butter biscuits, what kind of niggas? Shea Butter Laptop Revolutionaries. I know y'all have comprehension, you know, issues. Some of you niggas is dumb and slower than the motherfucker. So learn how to read. I had a dick sucking ass Wakanda nigga call my show yesterday, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I ain't like your title." You know what I mean? Whatever the case may be. You know, these niggas is very, very emotional, whatever. I love disrespecting them. Your mama should have aborted you when she found out she was pregnant with you, but she you know, she didn't do it, so goddamn. But anyways, but yeah. So today's title is, drum rolls, is Bob Arum right? Overpaying fighters is no good for boxing. Is Bob Arum right? Overpaying boxers is no good for boxing. Big John Doe, what up, though? He said I missed yesterday's show. You can always look at the replay. True. Let's go. I can't wait to open up these phone lines. I'm feeling very disrespectful today. Shout out to Green Eyes Pete. Shout out to Tila, North Omaha Stand Up. Tila, what's going on? What's going on, sis? In a recent interview with with the Pro Boxing Fans YouTube channel, Bob Arum explained what's destroying boxing. Bob says Turki Alalshikh's guaranteeing fighters big fight purses to step in the ring. It incentivizes fighters not to compete. Now, I know what y'all thinking. This don't make no sense. Damn, if you pay a nigga a whole bunch of money, what you mean? You pay him a whole boatload of money that he ain't normally wouldn't get nowhere else. That incentivizes them not to compete. Well, this past weekend fights is an indication of that. True. You know, I mean, look at it like a job, right? Let's say you go to an employee or employer or whatever, and man, look, dog, I need you to come to work every day for a year straight. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pay you all your money up front. You know what I mean? No, I'm not saying that's how that goes in this situation. But I'm saying, you got to guarantee. You guarantee to get this certain amount of money. All you gotta do is just step in the ring. Step in the ring. You get what I'm saying? It says nothing about, well, nigga, you got to fight. You at least got to compete, maybe, whatever the case may be. You get what I'm saying? So motherfucker just get the money and shit, what the fuck I'm gonna be fighting hard for? I don't got the bread already. You get what I'm saying? So now that was on the Fist of Fury card. Now the rest of the stuff that I've seen, Alexander Usyk, Tyson Fury, they made a whole lot of money and they went at it. Anthony Joshua, Daniel Dubois, they made a whole lot of money. They went at it while it lasted. Shit. Who else? What it was? Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder made a lot of money fighting each other, and they went at it.
To this day.
Yeah. I mean, the Turki Alalshihk wasn't in the game then, but I'm just saying, like, they went at it. Like, I'm giving you examples of certain fighters, and then you'll have a Canelo versus Jamel Charlo. Canelo trying to fight, Jamel Charlo running. Sweet science. Then you'll get a situation like, just some motherfuckers. And as I said before, what has changed, America doesn't have a boxing culture anymore. The boxing culture is dead. It's not a boxing culture. We have a few big name fighters who fight every now and then, who we look forward to seeing, but the culture is totally different. I know if you didn't grow up in the era that I grew up in, you wouldn't understand it. This current culture is what it is. Like me now, I'm the type of person, I'm not a complainer. I'm not complaining about the shit. My thing is, shit, if it's something I can do about it, I'll change it. If it's something I can't do about it, then I'm not gonna cry about it. That's me. I'm not a part of the victim Olympics. If I was a Wakanda nigga or a Shea Butter Laptop Revolutionary or a Butter Biscuit, you know what I mean, or a Sambo, I would be complaining. Man, I don't like what they doing. Man, they said this. The Mexican called my favorite fighter a nigga. What you gonna do about it? I ain't gonna do nothing. I'm just gonna call here and get mad at you. Well, why don't you call the Mexicans who called your favorite fighter a nigga? Call in. Why you bringing that energy to me? Take it to them. Oh, you scared of them? True. Barking up the wrong tree, fella. Barking up the wrong tree. Anyways, let's get it. Bob Arum says Turki Alalshihk guaranteeing fighters big purses. I have the receipts. Step into the ring incentivizes fighters not to compete. We saw a perfect example of this, with fights between Devin Haney and Jose Ramirez, Ryan Garcia, Romero, and Canelo Alvarez and William Skull. Some would even say Teofimo Lopez and Arnold Barbosa. The Fatal Fury fight cards was a dud, right? Bob explained how Sugar Ray Leonard, loved Sugar Ray Leonard, and Oscar De La Hoya, loved Oscar De La Hoya. Well, you know what? When Oscar De La Hoya was a fighter, I loved him and hated him at the same damn time. Like, Oscar De La Hoya is one of them type of fighters. I hated him, but I couldn't hate him because I couldn't hate him for boxing reasons. You know what I mean? Like I hate the nigga, but goddamn, why do you hate him? Because I was practicing tribalism heavy back then as well. But I'm like, goddamn, but Oscar didn't duck no smoke. Oscar fought all the top fighters. Like, literally, you can't name a top fighter in Oscar De La Hoya's era that he didn't fight. You know what I mean? Like, I'm saying for the most part, he didn't fight everybody, but he fought 90% of them.
To this day.
You get what I'm saying? 95% of them. He did that. I'm telling you, he did that. That's why I say, when you hear people talk bad about Oscar Dela Hoya, again, I don't know Oscar Dela Hoya from a can of paint. I don't know none of these motherfuckers that I'm talking about right now. Don't know none of them, right? However, when people talk about Oscar, they talk about, they talk about him wearing fishnets. He did that. Him being a cross-dresser. He is a cross-dresser, a little freaky motherfucker. Him wearing high heels. He did that. Him wearing lipstick and makeup. He did that. Him playing with dildos. He did that. But guess what? Inside of the boxing ring, you ain't got nothing to say. There's no complaints. True. I just want to throw that out there. I see the super chat. I will read it. Bob explained how Sugar Ray Leonard and Oscar De La Hoya performed inside of the ring. He said that they had a reason to give the crowd, or give the fans an entertaining fight. Why? Because De La Hoya and Leonard stood to make extra money from the pay-per-views in their next fights. That's how that model was then. When fighters don't have to perform to make extra money, why should they? This is what he's saying. I have the video. I'm gonna show it to you. If a fighter don't have to perform to make extra money, all I gotta do is show up. Yeah. Step in the ring. Yeah. I'm gonna get up paid all this. Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Then why even try to put on a masterful performance? That's for fighters who think like that. These American fighters, because I see fighters I see other fighters from different places. I mean, outside of William Skull. William Skull is trash. Like, again, I ain't never heard of William Skull. To be fair, never heard of him. I did see like 3 or 4 fights that he had on YouTube. I wasn't impressed with him. I was under the impression that Canelo was gonna blast this guy out and knock him out because I didn't really think highly. He's got the Cuban style, but I just from what I seen from those four fights that I saw, I really wasn't impressed with him. But then Canelo was half-heartedly in the fight, and he just look older and slow, and then Skull running around the goddamn ring like he is not engaging at all. Like a part of boxing is you have to engage. That's are you trying to win the fight? That's one of the criteria that they score. I got it over here. I can pull it up and show you all the criteria. It ain't 3, it's more than 3 that they look at, that they supposed to look at. You get what I'm saying? So but it is what it is. If I was a fighter, you know what I mean, and a walking lick like Turki Alalshihk paid me a boatload of money not to compete, why should I compete? Just throwing that out there. We saw a total opposite with the New Way and the Cardenas fight. And what's my man? Espinosa, man, they were throwing hands, boy. I'm talking about that co-main event and that main event. And really that entire fight card, they were throwing hands. Work hard for the money, huh? Work hard for the money. It is what it is, right? We saw the total opposite of that fight. Now, initially, I thought that Turki Alalshihk was overpaying fighters. Was good. I kind of thought, like, you know what? Turki Alalshihk bringing a lot of money to boxing, man. He paying these dudes a whole lot of money. This is a good thing. That's what I initially thought. However, I kind of think I was wrong now. And I'm going to tell you why. What's the point in overpaying a fighter if he's going to run inside of the ring and not compete? William Skull. Fighters like Gervonta Tank Davis, Boots Ennis, Brian Norman Jr., Bam Rodriguez, Errol Spence, Keyshawn Davis, Abdullah Mason, Cool Boy Stealth, they all like to compete. That's from what I saw when anytime those dudes fight, they compete. They put on entertaining fights. A few days ago, someone said in this very same chat a few days ago that Turki is a walking lick. This is when Bill Haney was on here Monday. He said, man, Turki is a walking lick. And I remember I said it to the nigga Bill, and he was like, yeah, man, anybody think Turki a walking lick, they crazy, they don't know what they talking about. But a walking lick is just goddamn, it's easy money. Shit, if I can, man, this shit's sweet over here. This shit's sweet. You get what I'm saying? And and guess what? And I was looking at it kind of crazy though. I was looking at it kind of crazy at first because I was like, man, no, man, again, I don't know Turki Alalshihk. I ain't got nothing against him. I ain't got nothing, I don't know nothing bad about him, to be honest with you. Now, I do know some videos that's out there that people like my, what the guy met, Sean Zytel made and stuff like that. And, again, I talked to a lot of people in the sport of boxing. So it's a lot of shit going on that Oh, Lord have mercy. If you know anything about the country of Saudi Arabia, I just say that. Just do some research on the country of Saudi Arabia and their relationship with America, and then just go from there, and you will see what I'm talking about. But that's all I'm gonna say on that. But a few days ago, someone said to me that Turki Alalshihk was a walking lick. He was right, though. He was right. Fighters like Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk, Inoue, Daniel Dubois, Terrence Crawford, and Anthony Joshua make lots of money inside of the ring. And Canelo Alvarez, well, some would say not Canelo, not as late. But these guys I just mentioned make a lot of money inside of the ring, but they compete. When they get in the ring, they're going to fight. They're going to fight. You get what I'm saying? They're going to do that. Fighters who run like Usain Bolt inside of the ring and call it the sweet science are frauds. They don't deserve the time or day from boxing fans. My focus from this point forward will be to focus on the fighters who compete and shit on the fighters who run inside the ring. True. So I'm going to piss a whole lot of people off. I don't care. Coach Malachi loves pissing people off. This is what I do. I am the prince of pissing people off. This is what I do. So I'm going to be pissing off a whole lot more male groupies. I am the male groupie killer. I will break you niggas' backs. And I say that sarcastically. True. Instagram, please do not stop this show. I am not talking about doing any violence to anyone. It's a figure of speech. YouTube, Facebook, the same thing. It's a figure of speech. Coach Malachi is not promoting violence, so please do not take it literally. I'm just saying my lyrical assault is something to literally second to none. Just saying that there. We want all the smoke over here at True Media Podcast. We ain't ducking nothing from nothing or nobody. We want all the smoke. Phone lines will be open. When I drop it, please call the show. You dig? We need the content. If you're a runner and a track star, you deserve to be ridiculed by the fans. No more pay-per-view fights for runners. Turki Alalshihk is a sucker that likes to be licked. No Diddy, apparently. True. And I say that with all due respect, Your Excellency. Of course, I'm joking. I don't blame fighters like Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, and Saul Canelo Alvarez for taking the money and running. I can't blame Devin Haney or Canelo. If you got somebody that want to give you a boatload of money and you ain't really got to do shit, take the money. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing. Shit, if it were me, I would do the exact same thing. Facts. To this day. You get what I'm saying? They should take it if Turki is foolish enough to pay the fighters above, to pay the fighters above a boatload of money for nothing. Who don't want to take free money? Listen, it ain't no fighter in America or outside of America that I'm mad at all. You got motherfuckers want to pay you, get that money, fam. Listen, let every fighter get the money because there ain't no telling how long it's gonna last. Get it, you better get it while the getting is good. Ain't no telling how long it's gonna last now. But if you got an opportunity to get it, man, get that paper, fam.
But this bomb is taking the easy matches, fighting other bombs.
As for Bob Arum, he's right. What do you think about what Bob Arum has to say? Let's talk about it. Now I'm gonna let you guys listen to the video, and then you can tell me what you think for yourself. Today's show is sponsored by Foster's Barbershop. If you are in the city of Tampa, please download the app Booksy. Please download the app Booksy. That's BOOKSY. Look up Foster's Barbershop, and you can book an appointment. The barbershop is 1923 West Main Street, West Tampa, Florida, 33607. Hit them up. Let them know what time it is. Book your appointment. Haircuts are $50 and above. Haircuts, beards, stuff like that. Has a tiki bar in the back, tiki hut in the back, bartender, and they got putt golf back there. If you want to go back there and play 9-hole with a little putt, you can go back there. We bet some money, go gambling or whatever the case may be. We can be Tiger Hoods. You can be Tiger Hoods for the day, and you want to compete on that. It is what it is. True. But before we get into the show, we got to say all praises due to the Most High, the Most Exalted, the greatest human being on the planet Earth. And I say that sarcastically, Mr. Al Heyman.
Well, I guess I got to be like everybody else and saying Al Heyman. I can quit my job now, baby. 6 figures, baby. You feel me? I'm about to
But a name. Do you have a name?
Oh, nah, I ain't got no name,
Name them names, man.
They know who they is.
Name them names, please. The names need to be named.
They know who they is.
The Mexican monster.
Oh, my bad, dog. My bad. How long I been muted? How long I been muted? He say no sound, coach. No sound. Okay, I got it. My bad. All right, I'm back now. Anyways, let me go back to what I was saying. Because I don't know how much y'all heard. I'm gonna say this though. Hold on, let me make sure I'm back. Let's see what's up. All right, I'm good. I'm back. Yeah, that part. You said about 2 minutes. Okay, cool. About 2 minutes, I got you. About like a minute and a half. Don't worry about it. I got it. So let me go back. Since I've been muted like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. That's part of the Arabs that did it. Or some people who don't like what I'm saying. But don't worry about it. Let me go back to what I was saying. Somebody get in contact with Gervonta Tank Davis and let him know that if you might want to reconsider whether you want to work with Turki Alalshihk or not. Now, I do know that Tank said that, them dudes selling their souls over there, and I don't know if they're selling their souls or not. They might be, they may not be. I have no idea. I'm giving you guys what I said the 2 minutes I was out. My volume was out. But what I'm saying is, if this man is a walking lick, like someone said in the chat, then you know what? You might as well go get that money. I know Tank Davis don't fuck with me. Most of them niggas don't fuck with me, and I ain't got no problem with that because I don't fuck with them neither. Ain't no love lost. But if you got an Arab, or you got an Arab that's coming to America and he dropping it like it's hot and paying you niggas a boatload of money, and you don't have to compete for it, like we saw with the Fatal Fury card in Times Square, why not get the money? It ain't no telling how long it's gonna last. So somebody might want to tell Tank, man, Tank, look here, man. Shit, nigga, you one of the faces of boxing, so this motherfucker looking to pay you $80 million to do nothing. You can get in the ring with this dude, you can compete, you can choose to fight him, or you can choose not to really fight him. What I mean by that is when you get in the ring, you ain't gotta engage. The motherfucker, he got to pay you according to what you signed. You get what I'm saying? So I ain't mad at no goddamn fighter. If you are a fighter in America or outside of America, and you got a motherfucker willing to pay you four or five times more than what you've ever been paid to get in the ring, and you don't have to compete, you will be a fool not to go get that money. You'll be a fool not to go get that money. So if I'm Gervonta Tank Davis, you might want to reconsider, fam. Go get that bread, fam. True. The Arab sweet. Go get that paper. The Arab sweet. Go get it. You ain't wrong for getting it. Go get it. Shit. You know what I mean? Hey, shout out to Jamie. He said they give you the money, you take it. Yeah, you get the money, you take it. You take the money, keep it pushing. That's all. But anyways, let's give a shout out to the Snow Bunnies. I'm just joking. Shout out to the sisters. Y'all know I be joking. Sisters, I want y'all to know. Y'all know I joke a lot. That's what I do. I joke a lot. It is what it is. I make satire of this shit because, this shit is a joke to me. It's a joke to me. You get what I'm saying? Boxing has become the joke. It's the walking joke in America. You get what I'm saying? So this is a joke. You know what I mean? We might as well just go in and laugh, make fun of it, and make it do what it do.
See your eyes shining. She's my snow bunny, please. With the lights, so she's my sweet dove of cream. Talk to my nose, this lover's got it so raw. Make you move, stepping out of control.
Turn it up. It's me against the light.
Snow bunny.
Moving on the bar. Everything's alright. Got that smooth soul feel.
No, that's
Dance to the light. With my snow, turn it up. Then party by the night.
see your eyes shining. She's my snow bunny, please. With the lights, so she's my sweet dove of cream. Talk to my nose, this lover's got it so raw. Make you move, stepping out of control.
Turn it up. It's me against the light.
Snow bunny.
Moving on the bar. Everything's alright. Got that smooth soul feel.
No, that's
Dance to the light. With my snow, turn it up. Then party by the night.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I just saw a message over here. Shout out to Highlight Space. He's in the other chat. I got another channel called Boxing with Coach Malachi. We got over 100. We got over 1,000 subscribers. Shout out to everybody for doing that. Highlight Space said over here. As a matter of fact, hey, Highlight Space. Let me go ahead and show everybody what you're talking about. And you know what? I didn't think about it. I didn't look at it that way, fam, but you're right. Highlight space. Where you at, fam? Right here. Right here. My brother he say athletes do it in sports too. Once they sign that big contract. Now, how many football fans or basketball fans we have in the chat? Especially football fans. But how many basketball fans we have in the chat? Or football fans? Highlight space said some real stuff. How many times have you ever, you got like my team, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? I love the Bucs. You know, I grew up in Tampa. You know, I was baptized in, in the Bay, baptized in Hillsborough River, right there in West Tampa, where I'm from, baptized twice over there. How many times you see a football player, they be balling out? And then especially when it's their contract year. Hey, shout out to Nate. Nate, when it's their contract year, like this is my last year of my contract, and he's trying to get another big contract, or he's in the last year of his rookie deal, and he's trying to get another contract. They ball out. They had a best, listen, hey, shout out to Lonnie. What's going on, fam? That's right, brother. Get that money because they ain't guaranteed forever. Facts. They ball out. If it's football, if you're a defensive end, he don't got 25 sacks, 13 in his, I'm talking about the defensive end, not even a cornerback. If you're a defensive end, he don't got 25 sacks, 13 fumble recoveries, 15 strip sacks. He's stopping the run. Anytime a running back get the ball and they try to run his way, he tackling for negative yardage. And as soon as he get that big contract, what happened? True. God damn, man. My nigga, you was there balling last year. Yeah, but the next year, shout out to John. Hey, Falcon, what's going on, brother? Shout out to the Prince. Hey, the Prince. Hey, shout out to CJ for the 504. Hey, the next year, as soon as they sign the contract, the next year, dog, nigga got 2 sacks. Hey, every time the run, hey, listen, they do a toss sweep. Every time the quarterback and the running back, they do a toss sweep to your side. Motherfucker averaging 7-8 yards, a carry on your side. Just last year, when teams used to do that, same toss sweep, you were tackling running backs for negative yards. The very next day, hey JC, the very next year, like, goddamn, my nigga, what the fuck? Nigga can't get no sacks no more. Like, damn, dog, why you ain't get no sacks no more? Man, you were blowing by. It took 2-3 motherfuckers to block you last year. This year, look at this year. This year, they got a left guard. You a left defensive end. They got a left guard over there on offense. The left guard, he about 5'9", 180 pounds. Nigga, you 6'4", 240, and they got a 5'9", 180 pound offensive tackle, left tackle, blocking you one-on-one. True. Ain't no cap. Blocking them one-on-one. My nigga, you was knocking that dude on his back last year. What happened? Man, I got that big contract, dog. I got that big contract. And in football players, let me tell you something about football players. Football players in football, baseball, they get guaranteed contracts. So no matter what they sign, the money guaranteed. So they can compete or not compete. They got to get paid. But they compete for the most part. Hockey, I think hockey get guaranteed contracts. Basketball get guaranteed contracts. You know how that is. So what happens is, once the dude get the guaranteed contract, like, man, so in football, a football player can have $100 million contract. But that don't mean that. They can cut you the next year and void the contract. But what they do when they negotiate their contracts, the money that's guaranteed in a contract in American football is the guarantee money. You always see football players, They always try to look, man. My agent Joe Rosenthal, got me $100 million contract with the Cowboys, and $80 million of it guaranteed. It's always important for that ball player to get as much of that guarantee money from that $100 million contract as possible. Literally. Hey, shout out to Darren. Hey, Darren, what's going on, baby boy? He said, not in hockey. They're underpaid. Oh, they're underpaid in hockey? Okay, all right, well, cool. Hey, good look. Hey, this is my homeboy right here, man. See, that's my partner right here. That's my brother right here. Oh, man, that. That's my brother right here, man. This dude been knowing each other for over 30 years. Real nigga. He ain't nothing to be fucked up with neither. Good guy. He's a good guy, but, there's the other side to that, too. But he's a real nigga. That's my partner, Darren. Yeah, I didn't know about hockey. But you get what I'm saying, though. Y'all get what I'm saying. You picking up what I'm putting down. Once they get that guaranteed money, I'm like, nigga, he was balling last year. He ain't balling this year because there is no incentive anymore. Well, I got my paper already. They have to pay me this no matter what now. So I see what Bob Arum is coming from, and I see what Timothy Bradley is saying as well. I see it now. I didn't see it before until I saw the Fatal Fury card. Once I saw the Fatal Fury card, that card opened my eyes. It really opened my eyes a lot. If it was one thing that really like woke me up, it was that fight card last weekend. True. That fight card last weekend. You get what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. But y'all know what time it is. Let me go ahead and let y'all see this right quick, and then I'm gonna drop the phone lines. Let's go right here. Let me know if you guys can hear this. I don't know if you can hear it, but y'all let me know.
That will be a lot of big events in Tokyo, Yokohama, maybe Osaka.
Well, let me see something.
In the months to come.
Well, Canelo Crawford was announced last night. What's your thoughts on the fight?
What?
Canelo versus Crawford was announced last night. What's your thoughts on the fight?
Well, who knows with, these guys getting so much money, what their incentive is to really perform. Look what happened because, let's be honest about it.
I want to stop right there, but I'm gonna let him play it. I'm gonna play it, and we're gonna break this down. He said they asked him about Crawford and Canelo, and he said, "What do you think about that fight?" Now, on paper, the fight may look good, but what Bob Arum is saying when he said, "Who knows?" He said, "With them making all that money, like, what's the incentive for them to fight?" There's no incentive. Like, okay, if I'm gonna get this guaranteed just to step in the ring, man. Crawford and Canelo can have a talk and say, "Hey, look here, man. You a legend. I'm a legend. Look here, man. Let's just go ahead and play ring around the roses for 12 rounds. If you don't try to knock me out, I ain't gonna try to knock you out. If you ain't gonna try to fight me hard, I ain't gonna try to fight you hard. Let's make that agreement. We gonna get paid anyways. Go 12, and I'll call it a day." True. I'm not saying that's what Crawford and Canelo are going to do, but I'm just saying, what's to stop them from doing that? I don't know. So that's what Bob is talking about. There's no incentive because once you get the money, it's like, shit, what the fuck I'm gonna be fighting hard for? You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Canelo, much money.
Thoughts on the fight?
Who knows with, these guys getting so much money, what their incentive is to really perform. Look what happened because, let's be honest about it. Canelo was in with not a very good fighter on Saturday, and he was getting $50 million to fight that, and he already had been promised $100 million to fight Crawford. So why would he take a chance, right? But that's no good for boxing. You see, in the old days, when we had like a fighter like Sugar Ray Leonard or Oscar De La Hoya doing a fight, they had a reason to really give the crowd an entertaining fight because their next fight had already been agreed to, but they stood to make money extra money from the pay-per-view, from the gate. So there was an incentive always for them to look good. Now that incentive is gone because they promised great money for their next fight, and their only sure way they're going to get it is to not engage in a fight. I mean, Devin Haney is a very good fighter. You saw the fight with Ramirez. That was a disgrace. That was an absolute disgrace. But if you're Devin Haney and you're getting good money for the fight with Ramirez, and you're going to get super money to fight Garcia because he assumed Garcia would win, then why would he take any risks? But that's not good for boxing. That's terrible for boxing.
You don't like the fight at all? You don't like the...
What do y'all think about that? Do you think Bob Arum has a point? Or do you think, nah, everything, it's all good, Bob ain't got no point, Bob just mad, old, and hating? What do y'all think about that? Hey, what you say? Hey, what you say? Hey, Darren, what you say, fam? You say, so we watching pro slap boxing. Yeah, we watching shit. We watching Usain Bolt. We watching Usain Bolt with boxing gloves. Well, that's what we watched last week. Hey, homie, that's what we watched last week. We watched last week. We watched doggone Usain Bolt with boxing gloves. That's what we watched last week. Niggas trying to tell me that's a sweet science. Baby, hey, Darren, we've been watching boxing for years, but I'm gonna say that nigga, that's sweet science. Matter of fact, I'm finna show you some sweet science right here. I got some sweet science I want to show you. Let me go ahead and move this over here. Where is that at? Did I say that? Somebody sent me something. Who was this? Okay, that was you. Somebody sent me something. Sent me a video. You know, I've seen this fight like maybe 3 times. And I'm going to show you a video of Salvador Sanchez against Rafael Gomez. And I'm going to show you the art of hitting and not getting hitting. The art of hitting and not getting hit. Just a little short something. Just a little short something. The young niggas don't know this. You see how he right there? You see how Rafael Gomez threw a 2-piece at Salvador Sanchez and he missed him? And Salvador Sanchez is right there in his face. He missed him. The sweet science, art of hitting and not getting hit. He got hit with a left hook right there. They traded left hooks.
This weight class in the game.
Okay. Punches. Left hook. Left hook. Trade punch. Sometimes you're gonna mix it up. Now, Salvador Sanchez, he could have been on that rope and did the tight rider. He could have did the tight rider instead of sitting on the rope and throwing hands. He could have did the tight rider and tight rider to the left and tight rider to the right. He could have did that. He opted not to do that on that particular sequence. Let's go. Let's go right here. He's on the ropes again. Nice body shot. Body shot. He missed with a left hook. Got caught with a right hook. Salvador don't turn them now.
I think
got caught with an uppercut. You're mixing it up. Left hook by Salvador. Slip that left hook. Slip that uppercut. Oh, got him with a left hook right there. Oh, nice right hook by Rafael Gomez. It is what it is. Slip that. Go back. Left hook. You get what I'm saying? Another nice left hook by Rafael Gomez. A nice body slap by Salvador. Nice body slap by Rafael Gomez. 2 pieces of the body. He threw a right hook and missed. Now, he missed a couple of shots right here. Both guys missed a couple of shots, and they landed some shots. But you can do that sweet science, hit and not get hit, and be right there. Guess what? Look how close they is. They ain't holding. They ain't making love. They ain't doing none of that. They can slip. They can slip. They can hit and not get hit. Ain't no holding. Ain't no making love. Ain't no, oh, shit, the nigga too close to me. Let me grab him and hold on for dear life. True. And hold on for dear life. And guess what? This ain't rock 'em, sock 'em. See, niggas who say rock 'em, sock 'em, they think because, well, if my fighter get hit 1 or 2 times, that's rock 'em, sock 'em. Well, nigga, it's a fight. You both of y'all, somebody gonna get hit in the fight. Yeah, man, my fighter got hit 2 times. We don't do rock 'em, sock 'em, dog. What we do with the sweet thing. True. true. Lord have mercy. Anyways, let's go back over here. Let's go back over here. Let's go back over here. Let's go back over and see what Bob's talking about. And you guys let me know, what do you think about it? Let's see this one more time. One more again, and then I'm gonna drop these phone lines. Let's go. That's Sabado right there, sure.
Much money, what their incentive is to really perform.
What's your thoughts on the fight?
Who knows with, these guys getting so much money, what their incentive is to really perform. I mean, look what happened because, let's be honest. Canelo was in with not a very good fighter on Saturday, and he was getting $50 million to fight that, and he already had been promised $100 million to fight Crawford. So why would he take a chance, right? But that's no good for boxing. You see, in the old days, when we had like a fighter like Sugar Ray Leonard or Oscar De La Hoya doing a fight, they had a reason to really give the crowd an entertaining fight because their next fight had already been agreed to, but they stood to make money, extra money from the pay-per-view, from the gate. So there was an incentive always for them to look good. Now that incentive is gone because they promised great money for their next fight, and their only sure way they're going to get it is to not engage in a fight. I mean, Devin Haney is a very good fighter. You saw the fight with Ramirez. That was a disgrace. That was an absolute disgrace. But if you're Devin Haney and you're getting good money for the fight with Ramirez, and you're going to get super money to fight Garcia because he assumed Garcia would win, then why would he take any risks? But that's not good for boxing.
Again, if I'm a fighter and I can get a boatload of money from a walking lick, I'm going to get that money. I hear what Bob Arum saying. Yeah, man, a fighter getting paid a boatload of money and there's no incentive for him, to compete, that's not good for boxing. Fuck boxing. If I'm a fighter, fuck boxing. Man, I'm finna get as much money as I can. And if this motherfucker willing to pay me a boatload of money, I'm gonna get it. So I hear what Bob Arum is saying, but if you're a fighter, now you might got to be Turki Alalshikh's boy. I'm hearing that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm hearing that shit. I'm hearing that Turki Alalshihk boy shit for real. All jokes aside, but again, I ain't got no proof, but that's what I've been hearing from some hell of a people. I hear what Bob Arum saying, but fuck boxing at that point. Who gives a fuck about? I mean, if you're those fighters in that position to make if you're going to make 3 and 4 times more money than you ever made, and you got an Arab nigga that's willing to pay you that kind of goddamn money, that fighter be a fool not to take that money. So I hear what Bob Arum is saying. It's not good for boxing, but fuck boxing. Well, listen, boxing is good. Boxing is good everywhere outside of America. So boxing is not in a bad place. Boxing is in a good place. In America, American boxing is pretty much dead. That's over with. American boxing is dead. We got a bunch of hype jobs with names because they favorite YouTube channels pulling their dick so much, that they are hyping these niggas up, but these niggas ain't known outside of boxing circles. Most of them. So, it might not be good for, I don't know, maybe American boxing, but at the same time, if you're an American fighter, you'll be a fool not to get that money, man. That shit's sweet over there. What I look like telling the nigga, man, you got opportunity, man, to go get this job, and you ain't got to really work for it. They're going to pay you more than what you're making right now. He'll be crazy not to get that money. And then Bob Arum, saying that, fighters getting paid a whole lot of money, this and that. They've been promised this and that. That's not good for boxing. But you working with Turki Alalshihk. Turki Alalshihk made Bob Arum, Al Heyman, Golden Boy Promotions, Oscar De La Hoya, Matchroom Promotions, Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren Queensberry. He made all y'all bow down. And y'all getting that money with him. And your fighters are getting money. So if them getting paid a whole bunch of money is not good for boxing, why you doing business with them? There's a flip side to that. As I said before, if you are a fighter and you got a sand nigga that's willing to pay you 5 times more than what you ever got paid in your life, nigga, you would be a fool not to take that money. True. I'll go get that money. I'll go talk to the fighter. Hey, look here, man. Man, this motherfucker here gave us a whole lot of money, dog. We guaranteed purse. We can go in the ring and try to kill each other, or we can make a gentleman's agreement. Look, man, we're going to throw a few punches. I'm going to move around. You're going to move around. And we just going to do the same cycle for 12 rounds. Ain't no need us trying to bash our brains out. This motherfucker got to pay us regardless. Something to think about.
To this day.
Listen. That's something to think about. Something to think about. Did you get what I'm saying? That's something to think about. So I can't get mad at these fighters, dog. Hey, shout out to Polo Buck.
Hey, okay.
Dropping that dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Polo, what you say, Polo? Hold on, fam. Hold on. Just gotta make sure. Matter of fact, let me turn. Hold on, I'm trying to bar you down, Polo. So, I got the TV on, trying to make sure. Just keep my audio go out again. Hey, he say Top Rank know how to build fighters. Facts. Top Rank definitely know how to build fighters. They track record speak for itself. No one can deny that. He say, but he right though. Overpaying them, you ain't gonna have the same hunger in the fight. Them sip sheiks hit different when you paid up. But see, Polo Buck, you're right about that, brother. But that's the thing. That's the trade-off. The trade-off is when you always get the best work out of pipe people or anybody when they're hungry. When you're not hungry anymore, what is the incentive that drives you? You know what drove Sugar Ray Leonard? What drove Haggler? Well, every fighter is different. But what drove and Sugar Ray Leonard and Haggler was rich as hell. They had a whole lot of money, especially Sugar Ray. But they had a whole lot of money, and they made a lot of money. Matter of fact, Haggler ended up making more money than Ray Leonard when they fought each other. Ray Leonard got more of Ray Leonard for what? Now, this is what Steve Kim told me. He told me when he interviewed Bob Arum, he said how their contract was structured was the fight was on pay-per-view, I think closed circuit. I think it was closed circuit or some shit like that. Closed circuit around that. Yeah, I think either closed circuit or pay-per-view somewhere up in there. And he said the way their contract was structured was, okay, Ray wanted a big guarantee. So Ray took the $12 million guarantee or something like that. Haggler took I might be wrong about the numbers, the exact number, but Haggler took like half of what Sugar Ray took. But his attorney or Bob Arum told him, look, Marvelous, I'm telling you, if you're willing to take a lower guarantee, you're gonna make more money than Ray when it's all said and done on the back end. I promise you. So Haggler like, okay, whatever. They say so Haggler got like half of what Ray got. When it was all said and done, because the fight did very, very well on closed circuit, or I forgot what it was either on closed circuit TV or pay-per-view, I'm not sure. And it did so well, Haggler ended up making damn near double what Ray made. Did you get what I'm saying? So, but that was that incentive. However, I can't blame these motherfucking fighters, man. You get what I'm saying? Like I can't blame them. You know what I mean? I can't blame them, fam. So the silk sheets hit different. Like you gotta have something to feed the hunger. Fighters when they first start fighting or any sport, or football, basketball, any sport where you compete at, you're hungry. You're trying to build a name. You're trying to build a reputation. You're trying to perform at a high level so you could be known as one of the best in the sport. Why? Because the perks that come from being known as one of the best in the sport is the money. But you got to put the work in, the hunger, the passion. What is feeding your hunger? Man, I'm broke. I ain't got no money. Man, I got a wife. I got 4 or 5 kids that I need to take care of. Man, I'm living in a bad community, but I'm making money. I'm trying to get out of this community. So your work ethic is different. But once you get that money, you move out of the hood. You got this, you got that. The shit hit different. And guess what? It's supposed to hit different. Because you did all of that work to get to the spot to where you're at. It's supposed to hit different. You're supposed to be like Canelo. Like I ain't gonna lie. I laugh when I see Canelo walk on the stage. Canelo walk on the stage with Dolce & Gabbana pajamas on. When he get ready to fight, Dolce & Gabbana, he'll flex like this here. He'll throw the little bolo punch, uppercuts. His fans will go crazy. He'll stand on stage, throw his hands up, wave at the fans. You know, I'm just saying, like on press conferences, and then he going back. Then he finna go back in his limo, get on the private jet, and go play golf. Canelo worked to get to that point. Canelo probably like, look, man, I remember a time, dog. I grew up in Mexico. I was dirt poor. It was 15 of us. I had to start boxing at the age of 15 so I could feed my family. You get what I'm saying? Hey, shout out to James Uncle. Jumping out $2 super chat. He said, so didn't Ryan take the money? Absolutely, Ryan took the money. And guess what, James? He should have took it. He wasn't wrong. Polo Buck, thank you for brother. Let me know if no audio. Yeah, he should have took the money. Absolutely. He's supposed to.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Yeah, so I hear what Bob Arum's saying, but there's a flip side to that as well. There's a flip side to that as well. You get what I'm saying? I hear what he's saying, but I'm like, damn, my nigga, it go both ways. How you gonna sneak this? I ain't gonna say sneak this, but say, yeah, man, there's no incentive for these guys to fight because they're getting paid guaranteed money. Well, welcome to the fight game, partner. Matter of fact, it was you promoters in America open up the door for Turki Alalshihk. He's only been over here for what, 18 months? Y'all the one that opened up the door for him. With the Civil War, that Top Rank, PBC, Golden Boy, Matchroom, Queensberry, the Civil War that all you promoters was having, y'all allowed the sand nigga to come in and make y'all work together. You kiss the pinky ring. That's what they say. Take the knee, kiss the pinky ring. And now, goddamn it, I'm gonna pay your fighters more than they ever been paid. And the fighters looking like, God damn, shit, I was only making $5 over here. You talking about paying me $100,000? Damn, I was only making $5 million over here. You talk about paying me $25, $30 million? For real? What the fighter supposed to do? What the fighter is supposed to do, fam? So I hear what Bob Arum is saying, but hey, man, it is what it is, man. Welcome to the fight game. Phone lines open, man. 530-494-9636.
You want to talk some shit? Call me. Start some shit, bitch.
Sup, fool? You gonna talk shit about me, homie? Where you from?
Hundreds of niggas is waiting for your motherfucking call, and they all talking shit about you right now.
Call the coach at 530-494-9636. We waiting on your bitch ass. Hey, somebody, hold on. Somebody, hold on, man. Somebody just sent me somebody just sent me a video. Hold on, what they sent me? It them froze. Hold on, somebody don't sent me a video. Let me. Oh, there you go, right there. Video unavailable. Oh, somebody made him take it down. Hold on. Did somebody make him take it down? Let me see. Oh no, they ain't. So hold on. Now, a lot of people was telling me about the commentary. A lot of y'all were telling me about the commentary at the Fatal Fury fight that happened in New York. A lot of y'all were telling about the commentary. As you guys know, when we do fight parties, I don't listen to the commentary. I don't listen to the commentary at all. But somebody sent me this video, bro, and this is hilarious.
Nothing. He's so worried about not getting hit. I think Devin still think Ryan in there.
Are we still watching the hangover from the Garcia nightmare a year ago?
I don't know what we're watching right now.
Still having nightmares from, the rocket left hooks that put him on the canvas, counting the number of seconds it takes for a punch to be thrown. Maybe they're perfectly happy to let Haney do his footwork exhibition all night long and not throw punches. Maybe getting to the point of the fight now where he might need a baseball bat. We could buy him a bat or a tennis racket. If ever a fight was capable of inducing a snooze, this might be it.
I know nobody better not jump on the top rope.
Hey, who that one ever doing it? That sound like Antonio Tarver. Who that was in the back? Bro, how do you fail? How you hire some people to call an event, to commentate a fight, and this what they saying? Who that was? Was that sound like Jim Lampley though? Hold on, let me listen to that again. That sound like Jim Lampley. Hold on. That sound like Jim Lampley and Antonio Tarver, right? It don't froze. Hold on, it don't froze. Was that? Hold on. Was that Jim Lampley and Antonio Tarver? Hold on. Hold on. Caller, what's your name? You calling from?
Martin from Oakland.
Martin, man, from Oak Town. Talk to me, brother.
Yeah, Coach. You know what I was thinking about? I was thinking about, based on that performance that Canelo had, I think pay-per-view numbers, even though he's fighting Crawford, I think they're going to take a hit because that left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths, no diddy. Because a lot of motherfuckers I know, they like, man, I don't know if I'm fucking with that September fight, regardless of who he's fighting, because he looked like shit. And that's the problem with matchmaking, because a lot of times, you either put together a fight that everybody wants to see or a fighter that's going to help you, showcase your skills, like Shakur with Zepeda. That should be a good fight, not because of Shakur, but because Zepeda's tailor-made to make Shakur look good. Yeah. You put Shakur against, Devin Haney or a couple of these other cats, you're going to be bored out your mind, but you put him in there with a come forward fighter, man, whatever opinion you got of Shakur, it's going to change. You're going to be like, damn, I didn't know this motherfucker was that bad, and Canelo, like, you know what Canelo looked like on Sunday or Saturday, whenever the fuck that fight was.
Yes,
it reminded me of when he fought Floyd. When he fought Floyd, like going into that fight, I was like, why the fuck is he fighting him? He's not ready for him. Canelo looked like a little kid that wanted to break down and cry because his parents wouldn't buy him a toy. That's how Canelo looked in that fight. I don't know if you remember. It looked like he just wanted to put his hands down and start pouting because he couldn't catch up to Floyd. Every time he swung at Floyd, he was half a second too late, and Floyd was half a second too soon for this fool to react. And it looked like if Canelo could have just said, I'm done, no mas, Roberto Duran, 2.0, he would have did it. And that's exactly what he kind of looked like. Now, don't get me wrong. He wasn't getting outboxed to that degree, but it looked like he was just frustrated to the point where he just, not only was he not himself, but it looked like he wasn't really trying, Coach. And, that pissed off a lot of people. That's like some Jamel Charlo type shit. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, motherfucker, you just showed up for this punk ass payday. And I get that, his first time fighting, outside of America, and the time might have got to him. And to be honest with you, Coach, I was thinking about that shit going into that fight. Because I don't know if you remember, but when he fought Bibble, for God knows what reason, he decided to go vegan. Now, I don't know if he thought that was going to pack on more muscle or what the fuck, but that shit ended horribly for this dude. And this time he was talking about, I'm going to go to Saudi 3 weeks early to get acclimated, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, what if that shit don't work? You know what I'm saying? Like, I done had jobs working, graveyard and whatever the fuck, and I just couldn't get used to the time adjustment, and maybe that's what threw this fool off. But
it could have.
He made himself look bad, Coach, because I don't think anybody had as much pressure as him, and he fucking laid an egg, Coach.
Well, he again, he had an opponent that didn't come to fight, so he just got frustrated, and I think that's what happens. I think maybe an old Canelo. Let's put it this way: if Canelo was on the Canelo from 3 years ago, or when that was, he became undisputed. That was 2021, right? 2021, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he beat Caleb Plant.
Yeah.
Canelo from 4 years ago, he would have stopped that William Skull right there. Let's say William Skull, he had the IBF and he needed that last belt to become undisputed. William Skull could have ran the way he did or did whatever he did in the ring. Some people say that was sweet science, whatever you want to call it. Sweet science or running high, whatever you want to call it. I don't give a fuck. He could have did that, and Canelo would have caught him. Canelo would have caught him. I just think that Canelo, he just like fuck it. You know what I mean? It kind of looked like he really didn't want to be there. He really wasn't trying like that, and it's like, man, I got these $50 million, guarantee, or 70 million guarantee, 50 million guarantee, and so what's the point? I think this like, right here is,
It looked like that person was going to pay off the tax, man, and he just wanted to get it over with.
Yeah. All right, but shout out to Martin. Salute, fam. Yeah, he like, man, you got a motherfucker who want to fight. It's like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta know how to cut the ring off. I'm like, listen, man, if a motherfucker don't want to be caught, then let me tell you something. Listen, if a person don't want to be caught, he ain't gonna be caught. You gotta be a hell of a dude to catch a dude like that. Shout out to Deal. Dropping that quarter of a dub. He say Monster was fighting on Sunday like there was no food in the refrigerator, kids starving, and his bank account is negative with overdraft fees. That was a war. Yeah, facts. And you know what the crazy part about it? A New Way was one of the highest paid fighters. He made the Forbes list. Hold on. Last year, he was one of the 6 fighters. He was one of the 6 fighters that made the Forbes list last year. Him, Jake Paul. Him, Jake Paul, Canelo, as the 6 paid highest fighters in boxing. It was Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk number 2, Tyson Fury number 1, Alexander Usyk number 2, Saul Canelo Alvarez number 3. I think Anthony Joshua number 4, Jake Paul. I know A New Way the Monster number 5, and Jake Paul number 6. Yeah. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Jamie from New York.
Jamie, talk to me, fam.
What's up, man? Coach, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
All right. Listen, that clip you showed of Salvador Sanchez.
Yes, sir.
Salvador Sanchez, that was him fighting at his best. He knew Wilfredo Gomez was a real knockout artist, you know?
Yeah.
Gomez left 32 motherfuckers in a row. That's hard to do at those weight classes, And Sanchez, he chose to fight the man, right there. He was right there in the pocket, bro.
Yeah.
That is the sweet science of boxing. You know what I mean? I don't want to see running. So, in a way, I agree with Bob Arum. Everything about what he said. I know he knows what he's talking about. He sounds like he's hating a little bit, but he's not. He's speaking facts. And Coach, there's something that a caller said in one of your lives this past weekend, and Jerry from Bremo followed that up. I never thought of it until they said it.
Yeah.
And man, they were right. Now we got Turkey. Handing out these guaranteed purses. And big money on your next fight. And I think that's I agree with them 100%. I think that's a bad idea. You're not gonna get a good product. They're not gonna give you their best because they're gonna play it safe.
Yeah.
And because they're focusing on their next fight, the big payday. So and Coach, man, listen, bro. As a fan, we want motherfuckers to fight. You know what I mean? I feel that boxing has to make a change for the best. For the fans, maybe a smaller ring. I don't know. Start deducting points because this is becoming it's a joke, man. You know what I mean?
You know what? Back in the day, I probably want to say like the 70s or whatever. Yeah, they would take points for if a fighter gets in the ring and don't compete. They used to do that. Referees can do that now. It's just certain rules they don't enforce anymore. But those rules are still there.
But Coach, the rules are still there. They have to, bro, because again, you got to force these motherfuckers to fight, man. That's what's going on, bro. They let them get away with it, and that's what's happening. It's a horrible product, you know. And us as the paying customers are the ones that suffer. These motherfuckers, like you say, they're millionaires, bro. They don't give a fuck about us. Their fathers don't care about us neither. But anyways, but again, I've been saying for years, you know, I've seen huge contracts in other sports. You know, if these billionaires are willing to pay you, fuck it, take the money. Respect from New York. That's my call.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy to go get that money. Shit. I'm gonna be running all these miles and doing all these sparring sessions, and you know, now the lower tier fighters, they're not going to be as fortunate. Like someone like an O'Shaquie Foster, you know, he's just a regular blue collar fighter. O'Shaquie ain't gonna get no big money like that unless Turki Alalshihk decide to give it to him. Shout out to Green Eyes Feet. Got her 2 pounds. She say I wouldn't even stream that shit. You get what I'm saying? Like, bro, you can't even get mad at a fighter. Like, what a fighter supposed to do? Like Jared Anderson. Okay, now I'm gonna tell y'all some real stuff. Last year on the Crawford Marjamal fight, I was at that fight. Fans, when Crawford and Marjamal fought, there were fans in the audience booing. I can't lie. I was there. It was some fans in the audience, they was booing. You know, they had the Eminem concert. I don't even know why they had Eminem there. But Martin Bacole fought Jared Anderson. From what I've learned, Top Rank did not want to make that fight. Top Rank has some of the best matchmakers on the planet. They knew from matchmakers, look, man, this dude's style is all wrong for him. But because Turki Alalshihk came in, restarted Jared, restarted Bacole, and said, look, I'm going to make this fight. I'm going to pay y'all a boatload of money to fight each other. Top Rank was like, they didn't want to, if it was up to them, they didn't want to make that fight because they knew he was going to get his ass whipped. Jared Anderson ain't that, you know, I don't want to say he's not that good. He's a regular heavyweight. He's a regular fighter. He's not an elite fighter. He's, it ain't a bunch of elite fighters falling off trees. You got a New Age, you got Canelo, you got Crawford, you got Tank. You get what I'm saying? You got Alexander Usyk, Dimitri Bivol, Beterbiev, whoever else you may want to name that I may have forgotten. Bam, or whatever, but it ain't a bunch of elite fighters falling off trees. Boots, it ain't a bunch of elite fighters falling off trees. Did you get what I'm saying? So, I mean, what you to do, man? You can't get mad at the fighter. Get that money, man. Call what's your name? You call it from?
Hey, what's up? This Coach Eddie. Coach, what's going on?
Man, Coach Eddie, talk to me, brother.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me? Am I breaking up?
No, I hear you well.
Okay, cool. So, like I say, it's rare that I agree with Martin, but a lot of things that he said was spot on. What Martin said, and even Bob Arum, he's spot on. You know, I had the luxury of listening to Turki Alalshihk today. This Canelo performance doesn't look good going into Terrence Crawford fight because a lot of people, if they really being honest, I mean, Turki Alalshihk would say he could even make a case that William Skull won this fight. I'm looking at this dude like he lost his last fight. He lost his fight against William Skull. If people want to say the Skull was moving around, that dude stood in front of Canelo over 200 times. Canelo just looked at the dude and didn't do anything. It got to the point where the referee went up to Canelo's corner in the middle of the fight and said, you need to start fighting. The referee went up and told him, they start fighting. So everybody trying to put it on Skull, and Skull was running around like Devin Haney. He wasn't. The dude stood right in front of Canelo, and Canelo just looked at the dude. It didn't do a goddamn thing because the money was already guaranteed. Hey, I'm the Canelo. I don't have to do nothing. They're going to give me the fight anyway. One judge had it 5 rounds to second. One judge gave Canelo a round that he didn't throw a punch. The dude threw 4 punches and landed 0, and they gave Canelo that round. The dude even landed any punches. He only threw 4. I'll let you know that the corruption.
They probably gave him the round for aggression.
But you don't throw 4 punches, though. You didn't do anything. That's what I'm saying, Coach. If anybody go back and watch that fight, Canelo literally, Skull did more than Canelo did. Canelo was just walking and looking at this dude. This dude threw 158 punches. And then Canelo's corner, like Eddie Reynoso was telling Canelo to be careful. He said, be careful. Like he's telling him, don't mess the tag up. Like he's saying, be careful. The dude's trying to set you up for a counter. You know, like nobody wanted to take any risks. Like Eddie Reynoso didn't want to risk Canelo, messed up the bag for everybody just there. Like I said, it's for the payday. Canelo like, screw it, I ain't gonna try. I'm getting paid anyway. And that Bobby is right on time. You start paying these guys these astronomical numbers, they're not going to perform. And that's a true statement. I mean, I can't say that from it.
But Coach Eddie, but I hear what you're saying on that. But what should these fighters do? Like, man, you got people paying you a boatload of money, and you literally don't have to. Okay, like we got a dub with the Fatal Fury card, but to be honest, the Riyadh season cards have been good. The Riyadh season cards, those cards have been fired. The Riyadh season card that they had in Saudi Arabia and the ones they have in the UK, they be fire. Now the Riyadh season card they had in the United States in Los Angeles, that card was good. They had I think El Rayo beat Pitbull to become a champion. Jarrell Miller, they robbed him. They said it was a draw with him and Andy Ruiz. He beat Andy Ruiz. The Crawford and Majamal, that fight really wasn't all that. Bud pulled out the championship rounds, but they was doing a lot of feinting, and Bud was getting hit with right hands, and then Majamal was getting hit with straight lefts and this and that and yada yada yada. Then the body shots, the body work, and you get what I'm saying. So it's the Riyadh season cards for them have been good. I would say that the Fatal Fury card, this is the first time I've ever seen a dud from Turki Alalshihk, to be honest. I'm just, you know what I mean? So I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. We got Tyson Fury, oldest and Uzi. We got an undisputed heavyweight champion of the world and a rematch because of Turki Alalshihk. We got Dimitri Bivol, bro. Remember, they couldn't even Mauricio Sulaiman wouldn't even sanction that fight for them to fight each other for undisputed 2-3 years ago. The Sheik come in, Turki Alalshihk come involved, paid him lose a boatload of money. Pay off Mauricio Sulaiman. Like he kind of like brought to be fair, he kind of brought a little structure to the game because he's making all these guys work together, and they all have to serve him. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, I know I get what you're saying, Coach Eddie, but if you blame Canelo? Like, I mean, the money guaranteed.
Like I say, it's guaranteed money. He's the diva. He's the draw. He's the man of the hour, and there's really nothing he can do. That's that cocoon that they put Canelo in. But I'm Turki Alalshihk. I'm ripping contracts up, and I'm renegotiating. I'm bringing all these dudes to the table, and we having a fighters meeting. And I'm the boss. I'm the owner. I ain't gonna be paying you dudes to go out there and do what y'all just did. Just like a football team. If you ain't performing, y'all have a goddamn football or team meeting. Look, we ain't doing this no more. Matter of fact, I'm cutting you guys pay. Either you want the money or not, because right now he's the plug. Turki Alalshihk don't understand that he has more power than he probably knows. He can cut those guys pay. They don't still fight for him. You know why? Because nobody else gonna pay for it. And nobody else gonna pay Canelo that type of money to do what he did, or pay Ryan Garcia or Devin Haney for that type of performance. So, like I said, Turki Alalshihk, the ball's in his court. He can control the money. He can do whatever he wants to. He can cut their pay. If they don't want it, hey, we can just go back to the UK and put on some more good fights over there for the cheap and keep it moving. And start wasting our money on all these A-list fighters who ain't going to show up. That's my 2 cents on the coach.
All right, super. Shout out to Coach Eddie. I mean, hey man, it's the Sheik money. Well, it's the Crown Prince money. I'll call hold on. Turki Alalshihk. I mean, it's their money, so he can do what he want to do with his money. If he want to throw it away, let him throw it away. I mean, again, I'm looking at something else. Because the country of Saudi Arabia and America has such a wonderful, great relationship together. They have a pact. They like this. I think, I just think the boxing thing, that's just something they just doing just to be doing. They don't really care about the money like that. The Saudis, they don't care about the money like that. Yeah. How much you want? $80 million? I give you that. You get $80 million. You get $40 million. You get $50 million. You get $20 million. You get $10 million. You get what I'm saying? I don't think they tripping about that. Because they got so much of it, they're not tripping like that. You get what I'm saying? They not tripping. Carter, what's your name you calling from?
Hey, Mo. I mean, it all comes down. How many times you bought something or people bought something, you thought it was it, but it wasn't.
You on the Bluetooth?
You know what I'm saying, motherfucker? No. You got me on. Oh, you can't hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but you sound kind of muffled, but go ahead.
Hold on. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, you got me? Yeah, so how many times people bought something and it was a dud? You know what I'm saying? How many times motherfuckers bought How often do we see athletes, football players, basketball players, baseball players get burned out? It happens. Motherfuckers buy bad product every day. It don't change because it's boxing.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers buy bad product every goddamn day. At the end of the day, Bob Arum have a beef because soon as Turki raised the pay scale, you know what that means? Bob gotta pay. It's no colluding in boxing. That's where the problem. That's why boxing. That's where they crying now, because in the NBA, NFL, they at least the owners can collude and get together and be like, look, we only gonna pay this motherfucker this amount of money. Y'all all agree? Cool, clap, let's go. That's it. You can't do that in boxing. That's the problem. So now you got a motherfucker out here raising a motherfucking scale and they don't want to pay it. And it's been like that. Bob always said he don't fuck with these ones because they spent. I was spending too much money. Bob was hating on that.
Yeah.
That means Bob gotta spend money.
Then Eddie Hearn was doing it.
Yeah, it was Eddie. Eddie did it. And Eddie fucked it up crucial, and now they had to spend money. So of course they gonna hate. And at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck how much money Turki Alalshihk. I don't care. It ain't my motherfucking money. No hands. Y'all wanted to see these fights. Now y'all blaming Turki because these motherfuckers laid an egg. Y'all told y'all stop boosting up these popular ass fighters and look at more boxers. When I tell y'all Sandor Martin should have been on the card, y'all would have been laughing at me. But Sandor Martin would have performed and threw some punches. And you know what I'm saying? Subriel Matias should have been on the card. I don't give a fuck if Subriel Cortez, but he would have been throwing some motherfucking punches. It's not about, man. Yeah, go ahead.
But see, this the thing, right? Like, again, it's some Arabs money. And these people have a right to spend their money how they want to spend it.
Exactly.
Now, two things can be right at the same time. Bob Arum is right as it relates to if a fight, you pay a fighter. If I pay Ron Bonfres $50 million guarantee, 10 times more than what he's ever made, and the other guy, I paid him 10 times more than he ever made. What's the incentive for me to go out there and really, try to get my head bashed in, or bash your head in, whatever? We can just dance around the ring, don't throw no hands and get paid. It's an easy lick. It's easy money. So, so it worked out for them and their family, and Turki Alalshihk is happy. So everybody happy.
Yeah, and keep in mind, the same motherfuckers that's complaining about what they doing, motherfuckers did that on their job. 99% of these motherfuckers talking about with somebody, they ain't doing their job. These are the same motherfuckers that go to their job and probably ain't do shit. And you're like, man, I'm just gonna milk the clock. I'm gonna do as minimal as I can. You ain't busting your ass at your job. Fuck, is this shit translated? You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers acting like they out here giving it they go. Oh, I'm gonna bust my ass for this check. Nah, I know you're not. You're gonna do as minimum as possible because that you're gonna get a guaranteed hourly wage or a guaranteed salary. That's 99% of motherfuckers gonna think like that. So don't sit here and you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers always want to grandstand when it comes to motherfucking boxers or athletes. At the end of the day, you do that shit. So like y'all motherfuckers is jealous because the motherfuckers is making millions for doing what they do.
Yeah.
It's not your motherfucking money.
Valid point.
Yeah, it's not your money. All you gotta do is say, I ain't looking at that shit. Period. I didn't even look at the Canelo fight yet. I wasn't even interested in the fight. I ain't seen the Canelo and Skull fight. So when people talk about it, I don't know what the fuck happened. I ain't even see the fight.
Yeah.
As much, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I curry shit. But that's it, bro. That's all I got for you.
Absolutely, fam. Hey, Rob would say, now y'all know damn well when y'all be at y'all job, y'all be cutting corners. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you, boy. Boy, when I was I used to work in the furniture warehouse, right? Man, I had this one dude I was working with. I'm talking about this dude was my partner. He was a big nigga too. But he used to be like, he'll take that furniture. We get on the electric pallet, the electric dolly. Get on the electric dolly, snatch that furniture up. Hey, snatch that furniture up. Man, I'm talking about, but this nigga, he'll do. I'll call it, hold on. I'm talking about this nigga work like a Mexican. He worked like 10 Mexicans. I'm like, I ain't never seen a brother work like that. I'm with him, boy. I'm talking about the whole shift. We doing a double shift, right? Not double shift, but like it's we doing overtime. Time and after 8 hours, you get paid time and a half. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I used to love working with him. This nigga finna do, because he finna do 85% of the work. I'm gonna do my 15%. I'm gonna do a strong 15% of the work at the furniture warehouse, but boy, he gonna do the other 85. I love working my day. Shout out to my nigga, man. I fuss with you, dog. If you watching the podcast, I fuss with you, dog. For real though, my nigga, for real. Carter, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Jay, I'm calling from Atlanta.
Jay from Atlanta. Talk to me.
Yeah, I just think I hear what you're saying as far as the money thing, but I don't think the money is the reason people not performing. I think it's other reasons, you know. But we as human beings, when we see people not doing what we want to do, we want to punish them. You know what I'm saying?
What are the other reasons you thinking?
So I'll give you a clear example. Like Ryan Garcia, he did not throw punches because of the money. He threw punches because he was a coward. He got hit and he was scared. So that's why he didn't perform. It wasn't because he actually would have been rewarded if he threw more punches. He would have been rewarded with that Devin Haney fight. He would have been rewarded with more money. So him fighting better, money would have actually incentivized him to fight better. Mm-hmm. He didn't fight better because he got hit with that punch and turned into a girl.
Hey, you make a valid point. everybody I spoke to said this what they said. They said, man, it seemed like once he got knocked down, man, it's like he checked out. That's what people.
Yeah, see, that's the thing that's crazy because I keep hearing everybody talk about Devin, right? Like that Devin did. You would come out of that weekend thinking that Devin was the biggest loser. No. The biggest L that was taken that weekend was Ryan Garcia getting beat and fumbling that fight they had. But people just like to hate on Dev. See, the thing with Dev, I'm going to tell you why Dev didn't perform. Once again, it wasn't for the money. Dev didn't perform like he was supposed to because he was recovering from getting beat up on by a PED chief. Because he had took a year off and because he was moving up to an additional weight class. That's 3 reasons right there why Devin was somewhat timid. Nobody has no empathy for Dev.
You know what? They hated on Canelo and William Skull this weekend too. Like, and I heard motherfuckers hating on Jose Ramirez. They like he couldn't cut the ring off, this and that. So, I mean, I think all of them, like Coach Eddie just called. He did a whole call hating on Canelo. Oh man, Canelo ain't do this, Canelo ain't do that, and all this stuff there. You know.
There's another reason it ain't about the money. Like Canelo, the money ain't the reason. Skull and use ring generalship and stuff like that. It's because he overrated. That's why he couldn't do it. Just like Teddy said about him. He either too old.
Are you your phone breaking up? I don't know if you're on the Bluetooth or a bad area, but I can barely hear you and you're breaking up.
Let me tell you. Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you sound a whole lot better. Go ahead.
Yeah, I had them AirPods in. Sorry about that, too. Nah, what I'm saying is, see, Canelo, he got plenty of money. See, he's not performing, not because of the money, but because he's overrated. That's why he ain't performing. See, if it's about the money, how come Mayweather went out there every day and bust the tail like he did?
Well, Mayweather is an anomaly, though. He's an anomaly.
No, he's not.
No, he is an anomaly. Now, don't get me wrong. You have fighters like James Toney and all them doing that. I'm not counting those guys. I'm just saying Mayweather in his bubble and stuff like that. Just looking at him, because a lot of these young fighters like to point at Floyd. I'm like, he's an anomaly. You got Pretty Boy Floyd, and you got Money Mayweather, and he still went out there and fought and trained, hard. Like everybody ain't doing it like Floyd, man. That's why he's an anomaly. Like it ain't a bunch of fighters doing that. What he did.
Yeah, but when you look at sports like Tom Brady, he mad paid, but he was still giving his all, everything he had, right? Kobe Bryant, he was mad paid, but he was the first one in the gym, the last one out. So it ain't the money that we talking about here.
But you're talking about one person, though. You're talking about Kobe and them. Like they are anomalies within themselves. It wasn't a bunch of Kobe's doing what he was doing. It's not a bunch of Tom Brady's doing what he was doing. Those are exceptional people, special people, the Floyds and stuff like that. But it ain't a bunch of Floyds. So I hear what you're saying, brother. But I think it might just be the money. You know what I mean?
Well, let me ask you this, True. If you got paid less, would you work harder?
If I got paid less, would I work harder? No.
Yes. If you got paid less, would you work harder?
You know what? I said no, but I'm gonna tell you something. It depends. If I had an opportunity to make more money, because I've been on jobs, I used to do sales, right? And it was a sales job that I had, and I wasn't making a lot of money at first because it was mostly incentives. But I had a vision that, you know what, if I continue to work hard, learn this job, learn this skill, and get better at it, I can make a whole bunch of money on the back end, how I was sold and later on in the future. So it just depends on the mindset of the individual. I'll say that.
Yeah, but the thing is, once you reach that plateau, right, where you're the number one salesman and you're doing your thing, right, you're on the top of the chart, you can still come to work one day and have a bad day.
Yeah,
Does that mean that they should take away your contracts and everything like that?
No.
Well, I'm glad I got you on the phone, though. You know what? I watched your live stream of that Fatal Fury last night, right? And I thought it was hilarious, right? But this is my thing, right? Do you think Ryan just got some quit in him, bro? Why was people, especially like people who know about boxing, like you, other people, why did y'all want that man to win so bad?
Why did I want Ryan Garcia to win?
Yeah.
I don't know how often you watch me, but it was two fighters I was rooting for. I was rooting for Devin Haney and I was rooting for Ryan Garcia. And if you listen to the show, I said that the reason why I wanted Ryan Garcia to win after Devin Haney won was because I wanted to see the rematch with Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. And I knew that Ryan Garcia needed to win in order for there to be a rematch, because we need clarity on whether can Ryan Garcia beat Devin Haney without the PEDs, or can Devin Haney beat Ryan Garcia and prove that what he did was a fluke. So I wanted Ryan Garcia to win so that we can get the rematch. You probably haven't been watching me a while. I don't like Ryan Garcia.
No.
I call Ryan Garcia a selfie king. I call him the Instagram model. I ain't never liked Ryan Garcia. Him or Rolly Romero. So that's why I wanted him to win. That's why I wanted him to win.
All right, well, let me ask you this real quick. And I know you got other people. Check this out, right? Would you agree, right, that Ryan Garcia that we've seen this weekend, right, the first time around, if that Ryan Garcia would have showed up without the weight cut, without the PED, Dev would have beat him?
Yeah. I picked Dev to beat him last year.
Yeah. So it's funny, man. It's funny to me. Even them commentators, man, like Anthony Tarver or whatever his name is.
Antonio Tarver.
They ought to be ashamed. Antonio Tarver, Mr. Popo, ought to be ashamed of himself, man. Like getting up there, like the bias. I just don't understand the hate against Devin Haney. I just don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? Now, do I think he did the best job this weekend? No, I don't. But he definitely did better. He outlanded Canelo. He outlanded Ryan. He outlanded Ramirez. He outlanded Rolly. But I just feel like that whole boredom thing, that running thing, that's a weapon, and a weapon that they use against slick African-American fighters that have a certain level of athleticism that they can't handle. I never hear them calling Latino fighters boring. I never hear that term running or anything used with them. You know what I mean?
If you saw the Fatal Fury fight, they was clowning doggone. Well, I don't know about the commentators, because when I go live, I don't listen to the commentators, but people criticize Ryan Garcia. They said that motherfucker ain't come to fight. After he got knocked down, he checked out. He didn't even compete. People was talking about Jose Ramirez. He couldn't even cut the ring off. People was talking about Canelo. Canelo didn't even look like he wanted to be there. So, I mean, there's criticism out there for those, and those guys are Latinos or Hispanic fighters.
But it's not the same level of vitriol that they have against it. Even Rolly, right? Listen to how this man talking after he beat Garcia, right? Mm-hmm. He like, oh, well, Garcia, he's going to come back and he's going to be tremendous. He'll still be Dev, but Dev's so bad, and this and this and that, and Dev this and Dev that. Well, you would agree, right? Ain't it kind of weird that, like, the whole media, you would agree, why do they want to hate Dev so much, bro?
Yeah, I don't know. I really have no idea, fam.
Yeah. All right, true. I'm going to get back into the gym, bro. I just hopped out just to holler at you, man. But you keep doing what you do, all right?
Yes, sir. Salute, fam. Yeah, again, as I said before, people have a right to hate or dislike who they want to hate and dislike. If people hate Devin Haney, they have a right to hate Devin Haney. If people hate Tank Davis, they have a right to hate Tank Davis. If people hate Shakur Stevenson, they have a right to hate Shakur Stevenson. If people like Devin Haney, Tank Davis, or Shakur Stevenson, they have a right to like them. People like who they like when they like them for whatever reasons. No Diddy. You get what I'm saying? So, I mean, it is what it is. People don't like Devin Haney. People don't like Devin Haney because his daddy, Bill Haney. So, you know, you got people who pro Devin Haney, you know, they feel a certain type of way. You got people who are anti-Devin Haney, they feel a type of way. People have a right to feel the way they feel. You know what I mean? I can't police people's feelings. I mean, what are you gonna do? You get what I'm saying? They hate Devin Haney, they hate Devin Haney. Simple as that. You know, Antonio Tarver, I know Antonio Tarver personally. Hold on, we got another call. People have right to hate, like whoever they want, like it is what it is. I'll call him. What's your name? You call it from?
What up, Coach? This is Roach from Houston.
Man, Roach, talk to me, brother.
Man, Coach, hey, bro. Ain't no way in hell I'm finna sit here as a black man in America and let somebody sit there and play the black card on that shit we just watched Devin Haney do this weekend. Ain't no fucking way, bro. Hey, man, you can try to, you know, play that old, man, they try to say this about slick black fighters and all that shit, bro. That dude was in there straight up running, bro. I've never seen nobody throw fucking clinch. You throw punches. This dude was throwing clinches in there, bro.
Yeah, I
You know what I'm saying? So, bro,
there was so much I could have said to him, but I'm like, I knew the call would have went on and on, but I'm like, I don't think the word slick black fighter is so overly used, you know, because, you know, we grew up watching a bunch of what we know what a slick black fighter is. There are really no slick black fighters in today's time like that. You get what I'm saying? You know, so like we can actually break it down, you know, break down some fight film and all that stuff, and I'll show him. Later, I'll show it to him. Later, I'm like, okay, what? Let's pull some fighters up. Let's look at some fight film.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? Now, do I feel like a lot of the Devin Haney hate was over exaggerated and stuff like, especially before this fight?
Yeah,
I definitely do. You know what I mean? Especially how people villainize him for really doing the right thing for the game of boxing.
Yeah,
that always was kind of weird to me how people villainize him for that. Especially considering how he clearly indicated that he wasn't even the person who pulled the trigger on the lawsuit. It was,
Daddy did that.
We already know. Marshall Bill.
Yeah,
we already know that.
So Devin is getting the hate vicariously through his dad. That's what that's all about. And you know, Roach, I don't know, you know, I said this several times on the show, and anybody who listens to my show, you'll know. I say, look, a lot of people hate Dad because of Bill. I've always said that. You know, people hate Dad because of Bill, because the fruit don't fall far from the tree. You know, if you hate the father, you got to hate the son. That's just how it is. You get what I'm saying? And, you know, a lot of shit that Bill do online and different that and in the background and stuff like that. So that's where that comes from. I don't think it has anything to do with, I get where he's coming from. You know, he probably like, yeah, they hating on the black man and this and that and yada, 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 yada. But those same guys that hate on other black people. Did you get what I'm saying? You know, black people are not one monolithic group of people.
Yeah, this is not one of them situations.
Yeah, we know black people are not a monolithic group of people. You get what I'm saying? So you can't pick and choose because Devin Haney fans, I hate Tank Davis. Tank Davis is the black man. Tank Davis is the black man. So I don't want you hating on my fighter. He a black man. Okay, but what about Tank? What about Shakur? What about this dude over here?
Yeah.
Or we're that different. So, you know, but I do get what he's saying. Devin Haney is the whipping child to be hated on the internet. No, that is true. I ain't gonna lie. They love to hate Devin.
And I can agree with that.
They love to hate
definitely can agree with that. But my only thing was, bro, with people criticizing his performance that he did this past Friday, like, you can't blame that on race, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I'm a black man. I live in America every day. So I go through shit where you can pull the car, like, you know what I'm saying? But, like, that was not one of them situations, bro. And I feel like it's very irresponsible for people to try to play it as that when, bro, at the end of the day, that was just a pathetic performance, bro. And you have the tools, like, Devin Haney is a great fighter. You know what I'm saying? And you have the tools to fight way better than that. And for you to do that, bro, nah. And for people to criticize that and you trying to play that as a racial issue, nah, that's not it, bro. But the last thing I wanted to say before I got up in here is And the callers they called before me, all the points that everybody is making is like true. But me personally, the way I'm looking at it is, now that these fighters are getting paid all this money and Turki Alalshihk is overpaying fighters, we really gonna see like who's really that dog, who really got that mindset. Because now, if you ain't got the monetary motivation, now it just comes from inner. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have that inner motivation.
Yeah, I
But
get
yeah,
you, bro.
appreciate you taking my call, Coach, man. Keep cooking.
Man, shout out to Rose, man. A-Town. You know, you're right about that. It's going to have to be something that comes from within. Now, you know, you guys been watching me a while. Some of you guys are new to the channel, so let me explain to you what type of person I am. So, you know, when you have people who have a victim mentality, you know, they will always find a way to become a victim. So, they participate in the Victim Olympics. And, you know, when someone has a victimhood mentality, they always see themselves as being picked on. People always doing me wrong. Man, woe is me. This and that, yada, 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 yada. I'm not one of them niggas. I don't have a victimhood mentality. I don't participate in the Victim Olympics. You know, I'm going to find a way. I'm the type of person, I was always taught to, if there's an obstacle, figure out a way to overcome that obstacle. If the wall is too tall, go around it. If it's too long to go around, no diddy, go under it. If the wall go too deep under the ground for you to go under it, go through it. But there's always a way to get to the other side. So that's my mentality. You get what I'm saying? But a person who, whether you're a Hispanic fighter, whether you're Hispanic and the only thing you see is race, that's you. That's on you. If you black and all the thing you see is race, like a victim is always going to find a way to become a victim in a situation. I don't look at Devin Haney as a victim myself. I mean, he made it. Multi-millionaire, living in mansions, flying around in private jets, just made $10 million on the last fight. I mean, hell, he's fine. People talking shit about you on social media, that ain't nothing. That come with the territory. Do Devin Haney get more hate than maybe a lot of other people? There's some validity to that. But Tank Davis fans feel that they get more hate as well. And if you talk to Shakur Stevenson fans, they may feel like, no, we get more hate. So you got boxing fans who will sit here and argue on which fighter get more hate than the other fighter. But all of those fighters are millionaires. So, I mean, that's par for the course. Did you get what I'm saying? That's always been like that. There's always been fighters that's been loved and always been fighters that's been hated. That's going to always be like that. But if you're looking for race or looking for racism, I promise you'll find it. I know niggas, they'll find race and racism under the refrigerator. Oh, shit, there go racism. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, there goes some more racism. Oh, shit, let me look under my car. There, I found shit. There goes some more racism. Let me look under my couch. Oh, shit, hating on the black man, that's racism again. So that's what it is. And then if you're black, and if you don't follow the narrative that those race hustlers or people who suffer from victimhood mentality fall for, then oh nigga, you's a coon, you's a sellout. Oh nigga, you this, you that. I'm like, yeah, nigga, whatever. You get what I'm saying? So I mean, it is what it is. Like these like mentally, like I think a lot of these people are just mentally weak-minded. That's just what it is. But shout out to No Cap, what's going on, fam? Shout out to Jason Phillips, salute the lovely Miss Connie. Shout out to the lovely Miss Connie. Shout out to Tim. Shout out to what you say, Timothy Harris. You say my bad. Devin's still not beating Ryan. You know what, fam? I don't know, but Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia fight each other. I'm not, me personally, I don't think I'll pay to see that because I don't trust the product at this point. I don't trust it's gonna be worth the money. To be fair, hold on. Carla, hold on. Like on X, right? On X, that's all you see, a bunch of racist motherfuckers on X. You got on X, on Twitter, you got Mexican boxing fans, not all, but some certain group on there, certain people on Twitter, where they have Mexican flags and stuff. I don't know if it's Mexican fan or not, but they'll say some racist shit. Not all, but some. Fuck black people, this and that, yada 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 yada. That's what they'll say right on X, right? And then vice versa. You had the black boxing fans, black man, F the Mexicans, this and that, yada yada yada. So they having a digital racial war on X. Over fighters, guess what it's about? Over fighters who don't even know they exist. And all of these fighters are millionaires. They get along with each other. Canelo and Crawford get along with each other fine. Tank and Ryan Garcia get along with each other fine. The Haneys and Oscar De La Hoya get along with each other fine. There is no beef with these guys. The only beef is people on social media. There's no beef with the Mexican fighters, the black fighters, the white fighters. There's no beef with the fighters. The beef is with the fans who choose sides, who live their lives vicariously, or they project their racial inferiority into any situation or subject matter. Because that's all they got. They ain't got nothing else. They give up the race card, what else they got? If they give up, I'm talking about the Mexicans, if they give up the race card, what else they got? They ain't got nothing. The black boxing fans, if they give up the race card, what else they got? They ain't got nothing. So that's all they have. They start their racial revolution online and call you a couple of names, and that's about as far as that shit gonna go. True. Shout out to Mr. G4L. He said Boston needs to go back to the old bonus contract, like $1 million for a fight, another $50,000 for a TKO early, another $30,000 if you make a guy quit, for example. Yeah, you know what? I think we too far gone from that, Mr. G4L. Shout out to BC coming out to our super chat. He say Floyd autistic. He literally the Rain Man of boxing. His name Floyd. Shout out to Derek. Coming out quarter of a dub. He say there is no bad publicity, and Devin is the most talked about fighter in the sport, more than Tank and Canelo. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. I mean, you know what? I would say that.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Hold on. Carter, what's your name? You call it from?
Yo, Coach, it's Rick, man. So I wanted your take on this. If we weren't living in such a PC, politically correct, freaking, in the bubble kind of mentality, we would hold these fighters to a higher account. Meaning, like, remember back in the day, you were telling us about fights that they were throwing like beer bottles or not bottles, but cans or whatever at Marvin Haggler or whatever because they didn't like the outcome of the fight. So if fans now would see a fight like what Devin put on and what even fucking even Canelo put on with fucking Buddy Guy on the weekend, they throw fucking cans, they throw fucking cups. But no, you can't do that. It's politically incorrect. You can't do that. That's assault. And you can fucking lawyer up and do all that shit. But we gotta hold these fighters at a higher account. These fighters don't give a fuck. They're getting paid, as you stated in the title of the space. They're getting paid way too much to give a shit. I don't know. What's your take on that, Coach?
You make a point, but everybody feel the way they feel, and for whatever reason, how they feel that way. You get what I'm saying? So, me personally, like I'm gonna be honest with you, Rick. I don't get caught up in the emotions of other men. I just don't have time for it. I'm not going to get like if you feel passionate about something that's really meaningless, but it's a reference of symbolism for you. I don't get caught up in symbolism, and I don't get caught up in the emotions of other men. What's important to you may not be important to me, and we're not a monolith. And I'm not going to be on your time because you know nothing about the code with nearly.
That you know what I'm
saying. So that's
okay. That I can agree with, but
yeah.
Okay, but what I'm going to ask you, Coach, is this: when a fighter's not held into the high account of saying you put on a show because you are getting paid $10 million, put on a really good fucking show. Show up. Show up for the fans. Show up for yourself.
Why should he do it though?
That's where kind of the immorality of like, or in the context of saying, fighters of years gone by, they were held at higher account. Bernard Hopkins, Marvin Haggler, Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray, they would all step in the ring and put on not just a show,
but for themselves. And be like, look, I'm gonna screw this motherfucker.
This is a different era. Well, in America, it's a different era here in America. Now we are getting those type of fights though. People who are holding account for themselves. Alexander Usyk, A New Way to Monster, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Danny Dubois. Let's see. Raymond Ford ain't a big fighter, but I'm just saying we are getting those type of fights from other places now. Abdullah Mason, Keyshawn Davis, you give him. Someone say maybe Steph Curry, Raymond Ford, O'Shaquie. Get what I'm saying? Like we saw O'Shaquie get down in Mexico. Well, he almost got robbed, but he ended up stopping the guy. So we are getting those type of fights. It's just that last week was a dud. But it's not. All of the fights are not all duds. It was just last week. That's all.
But it's also human. It's also human instinct when a guy puts on a dud and he doesn't show up, and then he posts the next day, as you showed, spending over $100,000 plus on a diamond watch.
7 figures.
What?
7 figures.
Like other individuals would be like, you got a participation trophy. Show that to the other kids. No, they're embarrassed. The kids will be like, no, I don't want to show a participation trophy. But that's exactly what he did. You went out and goes, look what I did.
Yeah. All right. Well, shout out to Rick. Salute, fam. Hey, shout out to Brother Styles, dropping that half a dub. Hey, okay. He say, do we want great matchmaking or big names? He say 50-50 fights don't mean they will be competitive and entertaining. He say if Tank get KO in the first round, I'm fine with it. Others say it was a waste of $100, a waste of $80 or whatever the case may be. Hold on. Hold on. Check this out, Brother Styles. That's a good question. When you say, do we want great matchmaking or big names? Well, all boxing fans are not created equal. All boxing fans are not the same. So you have some boxing fans, they may want great matchmaking. You have other boxing fans, they want big names. You have other boxing fans, they want big names with great matchmaking. I mean, we want our big name fighters to be matched up with another big name fighter in the hopes that they will compete. And then you have some boxing fans, they just want to see their guy win no matter who he fights. So, all boxing fans don't want the same thing. Some boxing fans want racial superiority. Some boxing fans want, they like seeing their fighter not fight anybody, have an undefeated record. Some boxing fans like to see their fighter get their hair done or go by jury or ice. Some boxing fans like to see their fighter run around the ring, call it sweet science. Some boxing fans like to see their fighter at least compete or get knocked down or get back up and finish the fight. Not all of them are different. So all boxing, what I learned, fam, is all boxing fans are not created equal. Call it what's your name you call it from?
Joe from New Orleans.
Joe from New Orleans, talk to me.
Now, I hear you on the race thing, Coach, but to some degree, you got to admit, man, racism exists in boxing, dog.
Yeah, I'm
you
not
know
denying
what I'm saying?
that.
For instance, it's like Ryan calling people nigger, Benavidez calling Charlie Nappyhead as. You know what I'm saying? To some degree, you have to admit that shit exists.
No, listen,
That's
hear me out. What have I ever said that it didn't exist? Have you ever heard me say?
No. I ain't saying. No, I'm just saying. I ain't saying you didn't say. I'm just saying people have to admit that it exists. It's not like it's not seen because we see it all the time. What I'm saying is, for instance, like what Ryan and Benavidez say. Now, if we were to go to Hispanic or Latino and say, "Well, look at this wetback ass motherfucker," that's the same equivalent to Ryan saying nigga, Benavidez saying Nappyhead ass to Cholo. So I get some beings actually look for this shit. Some people dwell on this shit too much. I get that part. But some people, we just see this shit, and sometimes we just gotta speak what that is. Like, come on, man, you know what I'm saying?
But you got
with that shit.
You got a lot of people speaking what it is. This is what I'm saying. Like I've been doing this 4 years, fam, and there's a few racist Hispanic channels out there. I don't even listen to them. I used to listen to some of them until I found out they were racist. I don't even listen to them. And then on the other end, there are some racist white channels as well, right? And they're not a bunch that I know of. And then you got the flip side of it. You got the flip side. You got the radical side on the black end. So My thing is, you said that, look, we got to acknowledge it. Well, I acknowledge it. There's racism in boxing, whatever the case may be. What's my man name? You said David Benavidez called Charlo a nappy head and such and such. Is that what you said?
That's Jose or David?
Okay, one of the Benavidezes. This is the question I have for you.
Yeah.
This is the question I have for you. What is Charlo gonna do about it?
Shit, I don't know. That's a whole different story. But I'm talking about as far as the people.
No. Okay, I get all of that. So, what did he do about it because you sound like you madder than he is?
No, I'm not mad, Coach. I'm just saying we have to acknowledge I'm not mad at all. At all, bro. I'm not mad. I'm just
no. I'm not.
You know what I'm saying on the subject.
Yeah. Hear me out, brother. I'm not. When I say mad, I'm not necessarily saying you're angry or nothing like that. But I'm saying I didn't hear this. Like, see how you mentioned that to me? I didn't even know Jose Benavidez or whoever said that to Charlo. I didn't even know that. I didn't hear about that shit. But my thing is, what did he do about it? Did he say, hey man, we got to come together and fight this racism that's going on in boxing? And then galvanize the people because he has a platform, he can do that. Did he say we need to galvanize and do that? I didn't hear him say none of that. As a matter of fact, I don't hear none of these black fighters saying that shit. That's if you want to know what pissed me off, if I were to get pissed off, I say, damn, ain't none of these niggas ain't doing a goddamn thing. As a matter of fact, Benavidez and Charlo are friends. These boxers.
All I'm saying, we just gotta acknowledge it. That's it.
Okay, yeah. Bro, let me tell you something. What's your name, Joe? Joe, let me tell you something. These fighters, like they don't view the world, fam, the way me and you view it. I'm telling you, they don't give a damn. All these like you say, Ryan. Do you think Ryan Garcia racist?
I don't know Ryan. I don't know Ryan like that, so I don't know if he's racist.
All right, do you believe Ryan Garcia said some racist stuff about black people?
He say nigga. I'm just saying he say nigga on camera. So it's like, and that wasn't, and he wasn't like playing. He wasn't saying it like like we say, like a compassionate way, how we do with each other. He was in an angry way.
And guess what? So do you feel like that black people as a whole, including black fighters, should have been offended by that?
That depends on how you see the world. Let me bring that back, because I hate when other people say depends and gray area shit. So
now I'm just asking, do you feel that? Do you know what I'm saying? Okay, we acknowledge it. Racism. No, hear me out. You say we just need to acknowledge it. Racism is alive and well in boxing. We acknowledge it. Now what?
No, what I was about to say is that I can get that people overdo the whole racism thing. Maybe you should go to prejudice. Maybe you should go to bias. Maybe you go to bigotry. Because racist is a whole different thing. Because that comes with power. But if you want to go to prejudice and bias and all that shit, yeah, I get it. But, you know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is there. I'm not saying we got to overly talk, you know what I'm saying, target the shit and pinpoint the shit. Like, I get it, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying it's there. That's it.
Yeah, okay.
And there was some shit that was said on camera by other groups towards us in a derogatory way. So
what
all I'm saying, I see why some people get angry and say something. Huh?
No, I hear what you're saying. But you make a valid point. We do have to acknowledge it. It's there. People have a right to feel the way they want to feel. If you want to get angry, start a digital revolution, get upset, mad, yell, scream, you have a right to feel that way. I have a right to choose whether I want to get my emotions caught up in another man's emotions or not. And you have a right to do the same thing. That's all I'm saying. You say all we need to do is acknowledge. I get it. So hear me out. You say all we need to do is acknowledge it, right? Okay, I acknowledged it.
Yeah, that's all.
I acknowledge it. So
that's all. I'm not saying you have to no, listen to me, Coach. I'm not saying you have to be all emotional about it if somebody do you something like that. All I'm saying is acknowledge it. I ain't say you had to bring your emotion behind it. I'm just saying we have to acknowledge that it's there.
I acknowledge that it's there.
You know what I'm saying? That's all. That's all.
All right, well, Joe, thank you for calling, brother. I acknowledge that it's there, brother. Thank you for calling. Yeah, so as it relates to the fighters' pay and stuff like that, I kind of think that Bob Arum he's right in one breath, but then it's bullshit in another breath. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because these promoters in America are part of the problem. They open up the door for someone like a Turki Alalshihk to come in and pull the heist that he's pulling in boxing. They've opened up the door for that. So if Turki Alalshihk is paying these black fighters, he's paying these black fighters a boatload of money to go in the ring and fight, they seem like they happy. If he's paying these Mexican fighters to get in the ring and fight, they seem like they happy. If they're paying these white fighters to get in the ring and fight, they seem like they're happy. We got a black fighter fighting a Mexican fighter in September. Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford. Both of them seem like they're happy. Hell, I've heard motherfuckers call Terrence Crawford top rank Toby, call him a slave, call him all kind of shit. Literally. Since I've been online, they don't do it as much anymore, but probably like 3 or 4 years I've been online, Buddy was getting it. So, you know, from both ends, you know what I mean? So. Call up what's your name? Call from
Jersey Bob. What's up, Coach?
Jersey Bob, your phone sound kind of windy, so I don't know if you got them on the Bluetooth or not, but.
Hold on one second.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Yeah, so basically what I'm saying, I work as a teacher. Now, do they pay teachers enough? No. But if they paid a lot more for teachers, all these people will be in the classroom and don't belong trying to just get that money. So I see it both ways as a teacher. I'm like, man, I wish I got paid more. But I know if they start paying good money, you have people up in that classroom like, I'm just going to take this money and I ain't going to do the job. So basically, that's the same thing with the boxing. You know, it's good that these boxers are getting paid. And it's bad that they're getting paid. Well, I say both. Yeah, we want to see these young men make this money, but as we can see, when dudes get paid a lot of money, they ain't as hungry. That's for everything. Unless you like LeBron James, 40 years old, making all that money. Look how hard he play out there.
Yeah,
but you got a bunch of guys in NBA who ain't playing that hard, who take their money and their game go downhill. You have seen it for years, Coach. Those get paid. Now all of a sudden, I got my money. So it all depends on the person. But Bob Arum can't talk nothing, man. You can't listen to Bob Arum. That joker he been robbing the black man for how long?
Which
He's
fighters?
paying black fighters for.
Which fighters have
you
he
that
robbed?
man? Come on, Bob. What's they?
No, I said which fighters have he robbed? Can you give me some examples? Like lawsuits or whatever. Have you like? Can you give me some examples?
Well, I'm talking about. Well, if we can go by T.O. T.O.'s a minority. T.O. ain't get paid.
Can you give me some examples of black fighters? You say he been robbing
fighters.
You say he been robbing black fighters for years.
Well, Rob, I'm saying he underpaid. Rob is the wrong thing.
Okay.
Underpaid dudes. So if you go back over the years, well, I'll just go with Shakur. Shakur, you know, before he got that last contract offer, what Shakur keep crying about? I ain't made no million. I ain't made this.
Shakur was making $3 million a fight. So if he said he ain't make no million, Shakur was lying. No, Shakur was making $3 million a fight, brother.
But when he started becoming a star, he was complaining about the money.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, Lomachenko, he ain't had no problem paying Lomachenko.
What do you mean he had no problem with Lomachenko? Lomachenko wasn't making big money with Top Rank. Terrence Crawford was making more money. The highest paid fighter over there at that time was Terrence Crawford. He was making more money than Lomachenko and TFP. What was Lomachenko making? Do you know?
Lomachenko was was making well over $1 million and not, selling out crowds. You would go watch the fight. You would see Lomachenko have what 2, 3, 4, 5,000 people up in there getting paid a lot of money. It wasn't like he was breaking the bank. It wasn't like he was bringing in a whole lot of people. It wasn't like his viewership was higher than everybody else. But he was getting paid because Bob Arum was always talking about how great this dude was.
So $1 million, say, so T.O. was making over $1 million. So would you say he was making, so you say he was making between $1 million and $2 million?
T.O. claimed, if we believe what he said, remember he said he never made $1 million.
Yeah, T.O. was lying.
Before he got these turkey bags.
Yeah, T.O. was
You don't
lying.
believe him?
No, T.O. was lying. T.O. was making more than that. T.O. was making more than $1 million.
Well, you're right. Okay. Well, either here or there, man. Bob Arum's made a lot of money off these fighters. So, if he don't want to pay, don't pay him. Would you say
every promoter made a lot of money off these fighters, or just relegated to Bob Arum?
Oh nah, every promoter's made a lot of money off these fighters.
Yeah.
But some fighters, like you said, Eddie Hearn, at times, they've also overpaid these guys and given them a lot of money. Like Mikey Garcia got what, $8 million for a fight?
Yeah, I think he got
Eddie Hearn.
I don't know how much he got paid, but I know he got some big money to fight. Who that was? Was that Vargas? I forgot who it was. I forgot who it was he fought. But he made some big money. He made some big money fighting Errol Spence too, though. He made some big money fighting Spence in Dallas Stadium.
But the bottom line is what you said. We ain't getting none of this money, and they don't care nothing about us. So I don't really care how much they get paid, except on this weekend when I spent $90 and dudes ain't fight. So that's where the big problem comes in. We had them fights and dudes ain't fighting. Even Barbosa, man, he ain't fight.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the problem comes in. Like Barbosa called out T.O. for 3 years, got to fight with him, went in the fight, and said, I ain't gonna try to win. I'll just let T.O. win. I'll take this bag. That's where paying all these fighters runs us into a problem.
Well,
So,
I mean,
all right, Coach.
All right,
salute. Thanks for letting me out. Have some time.
Shout out to the boss. Salute, brother. Yeah, but my thing is, see, a lot of stuff got to be put in context. Like, yo, man, T.O. he ain't make but $1 million and this and that. I mean, that was cap, fam. That was cap. That man was making more than that. So I get it. Again, I'm not arguing for Bob Arum, but if your gripe is Bob Arum don't pay fighters, black fighters or white fighters or any fighters, then all of the promoters, they do the same shit. I mean, Don King was notorious for paying a fighter big money, but then after all the deductions, the fighter walk away with little or nothing. All these fighters end up suing them, and he end up settling out of court, giving them cash payments to drop the lawsuit and all that stuff there. Like, that's why I say you got to be open. Now, Don King is my favorite promoter. Some people may say, well, damn, man, they hating on the black man, Don King. No, Don King was doing that shit. Everything ain't hate. Everything just, like, the thing is, a lot of people, certain people hate the word accountability. Right and right is wrong is wrong. Irregardless of who the person is, race, color, creed, nationality. If a person do you right, they do you right. If a person do you wrong, they do you wrong. And you got promoters like Bob Arum, promoters like Don King. Who we had back then? I think we had what Lee said. What the dude promoter named Muhammad? We had and we had a bunch of promoters back then. But they kind of left, kind of forgot about it. We had a bunch of promoters back then. But Don King and Don King Promotions and Bob Arum, they was the creme de la creme. It was really, they were the two major ones. And even though I love Don King now, my favorite promoter of all time. You get what I'm saying? I mean, motherfuckers sued him left and right, bro. Like, let's just be real. Yeah, Duvas. We had Duvas. Motherfuckers suing Don. Listen, Mike Tyson said Don King robbed him blind. So So my point is this here. A thief don't see color. There's no such thing as a white thief and a black thief. Or a Hispanic thief. You know what my granddaddy told me? My granddaddy told me this here. Minister Abdul Kareem Muhammad. He said, brother, always be aware of a thief, a brother that's a thief who tell you he only steal from white people. Yeah, I'm a thief, but I only steal from white people. I said, why is that? He say, it won't be before long that he won't start seeing color. Carla, hold on. See, opportunity presents a thief. If I have intentions to steal from you, whether you white, black, or Hispanic, I'm going to get your ass. I'm not going to sit back and say, oh, that nigger, I'm going to rob all black fighters, but I'm going to spare the white ones. Or I'm not going to say, well, you know, baby, only in America, baby, you know what I mean? We got to stick together, brother. See, it's about us. We got to stick together against the white man because the white blue-eyed devil is trying to take our money from us. And so next thing I know, I'm looking at I'm watching the white dude. Next thing I know, the brother got his hand in my pocket. A thief is a thief. Doesn't matter who it is. Thieves don't see skin color. Remember that. Carter, what's your name? Where Carter from?
Coach, what's going on? It's Ross from New York.
Right, talk to me.
Yeah, I think it was Zab Judah in one of his interviews. He was saying that Mike Tyson told him, like, yo, just be careful with this fucking dude with just be careful with Don King. And he was like, man, I'm from Brooklyn, man. Like I know what I'm doing. And he said he kind of got him with the okie doke with that, you know, we got to stick together, man. Like these white folks trying to get it. It's like, man, you stick to them racial narratives, man. You gotta get got. Yeah. These dudes can't be laying on that shit. Business is business at the end of the day, you know. So the thing with Top Rank is, and I'm going to try to make, you know, almost like an analogy to it with this, but Top Rank operates kind of like, do you know the San Antonio Spurs, how no one is bigger than the team? They can just plug and play and just keep the fucking machine going as long as they have a good system going. That's Top Rank. You know, at the end of the day, you know, they're not gonna overinvest or try to overinvest for one fighter because they always got someone going on behind the line. Like there's always an Abdullah Mason. There's always an Emiliano Vargas. They have a Rohan Polanco. You know, if Tio leaves, there's always someone coming up next. They can't rely on overpaying these fighters when they know that it doesn't make business sense because it doesn't bring that revenue back in. You know, there isn't always a Manny Pacquiao around the corner. So I think they just have a set standard playbook on how to operate and manage their business, and they're not going to stray away from that because they've been in the business for too long. But people just that play around these racial narratives, they're just being tribal, man. That's normal. But that's my call, Coach.
Absolutely, fam. And they have a right to feel that way. Again, as I said before, if you've been watching my channel, I tell people tribalism is alive and well. I mean, human beings, we are tribalistic by nature. That's the nature of human beings. All of us are tribalistic, and every group have a level of racism to them, whatever the case may be. Some people are in power to enforce their racism, which is a system, and some people are not in power. But that's just the reality of the situation. Anywhere you go on the planet, it's gonna be like that. You know, they got caste systems. If you want goddamn, because as long as there's rich people, they're gonna be poor people. Listen, as long as there are rich people, they're gonna be poor people. Literally. It's the haves and the have-nots. That's what this shit is all about. The haves and the have-nots. And I'm telling you, these people that have, that's on a higher level, they mingle together. And I'm trying to get the people on the lower spectrum of society to understand that in boxing. You can be mad about whatever you're mad at, because you took it personal. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Those are your feelings. However you internalize your feelings, that's up to you. But guess what? This nigga right here ain't tripping on it. Matter of fact, the dude who called him a nigga, They together. They listen. They walking together in the mall, going to the Gucci store, buying diamonds.
True.
Shout out to Ricky. Dropping our quarter per dub.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He said, I honestly don't think it's the money. I think fighters are distracted with the settings Turki chooses, and the gimmicks is the distraction. Now, this is the thing. Hold on. Carla, hold on. Hey, Ricky, check this out, fam. You said you really don't think it's the money. You think it's the fighters are distracted with the settings Turki chooses and the gimmicks it's a distraction. Check this out. The fighters, before they accept the money, they already understood the terms of the contract. They know where they are going to fight. They know what time they are going to fight. And they know what the date of the fight. The fighter like Ryan Garcia, oh man, this was kind of strange. The setting was kind of messed up. I wasn't able to perform to my best capabilities because I didn't like the settings. It didn't stop Rolly Romero from performing to the best of his capabilities, and he was in that same setting that you were in. And if you didn't like the setting, when you got paid $20 million for that fight, from what I'm hearing, I don't know how much you got paid, but that's what's out there. For $20 million, I don't care what the setting is. Apparently, you knew you was fighting at Times Square prior to accepting the fight. If you don't like the settings, don't take the money. You took the money, so that means you agreed to the terms. For $20 million, nigga, I'll fight a nigga on the Brooklyn Bridge in the middle of a snowstorm for $20 million. And if I lose, get knocked out, yeah, man, I ain't like the setting, dog. The sand, dog, man. I was in the Brooklyn Bridge in the middle of a storm. My nigga, did you know that before you signed the contract? Yeah. Did you know that before they sent them $20 million in your bank account? Yeah. Then what you complaining about?
True.
Carter, what's your name? You Carter from?
Hey, what's up, Coach? It's Coach Eddie 2 times.
Coach Eddie, talk to me.
Hey, Coach, you preaching today, man, because I sent you a clip, but you know, when Ryan Garcia was fighting Rolly Romero, guess who was on the sideline cheering for Ryan, trying to tell him to keep his hands up?
Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah, Shakur Stevenson, Tad Crawford, Bernard Hopkins. Like you say, all these people running the same circle. They millionaires, man.
Yeah,
you know, they don't care about that racist stuff.
Yeah, all them.
Like Ryan.
Yep, facts.
Yep. I'm like, Ryan, keep your hands up. Wait a minute, this man said all this stuff about George Floyd, you know, N-word this, N-word that.
Yep.
But yet, these black folk is cheering for the dude. They should have been happy.
Yeah,
you know, they should have been happy he was getting what he deserved. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Shakur Stevenson. Yeah, you're right. They was. You say Bernard Hopkins. Well, you know, Bernard. And see, this is what I'm trying to see, Coach Eddie. This is what I'm trying to tell people. Like people who call this show, your paradigm is not a black millionaire's paradigm. You got to ask yourself a question. Why would Terrence Crawford, Shakur Stevenson, Bernard Hopkins be cheering Ryan Garcia on, a guy who is billed as a racist by the lower tier of society on social media in the sport of boxing? Do you want to know why? Because they don't see Ryan the way you see Ryan. They see Ryan as a fellow brother in the sport of boxing. They make it millions of dollars. You know, they in the sport. They are a part of the boxing fraternity. I've been saying this forever, Coach Eddie, on this show.
Right.
They don't see Ryan the way you see Ryan. You may see Ryan. That's a racist shit right there. Terrence Crawford don't see them like that. Shakur Stevenson don't see them like that. Them other black fighters don't see them like that. Tank Davis don't see them like that. So what's the common denominator then? Money, and they're in the same sport.
Money.
Yeah.
Money, because like I say, they see Ryan Garcia fumbling the bag. That's what they seen. You know what I'm saying? And you said something about accountability. It's a young brother who got shot by the police. They stole a car, jumped out of the car, got shot by the dumpster. But there's always a series of events that leads up to that. They're disregarding totally what the young man did. Stole a car, high-speed chase,
run around with a gun in his hand, it's a good chance you're gonna get shot by the police. You jump out the car with a gun in your hand. It's very highly you're gonna get shot.
Yeah.
But there's always a series of events that lead up to your demise. And they just try to ignore all of that. And they say, well, the cops should have did this. Well, what if he didn't do this and the dude shot it? Then what? So like I say, you got to be accountable for your own actions. But that's my call, Coach.
Absolutely, fam. Yeah, I be telling y'all, man, like, you know, this shit. Once I do this boxing shit. Once I saw that, I was like, oh man, this nigga ain't gonna get mad. And he's directing it to you. If he ain't gonna get mad, what the fuck I'm gonna get mad for? I ain't finna fight for you. Fight for yourself, and then I'll come along. You know, that's like listen, hold on. That's like a nigga swinging on you. Okay, me and my homeboy, right? This is a true story. Me and my homeboy named Yasin. We was together one time, and I was in this neighborhood, and we had got like jumped at the park. But prior to getting jumped, somebody had them stole him. Another dude had them swung on him and stole him, and he had like 3 people with him. So it was 3 people, and it was just me and him. And so, but it was one dude that swung on him. So he looking at me like, damn, the dude swung on me. I'm like, nigga, what you looking at me for? Fight him. And then when he fought, he ended up whooping him. 2 more dudes jumped in it. I jumped in it. You know, we had to fight, whatever the case may be. But I'm like, damn, my nigga, you got to, you know, what you want me to get? He swung on you. Now, I'm your homie. I'm going to be right there with you, but you better defend yourself. Yeah. I'll call. What's your name? You calling from?
Mike out of Bridgeport. What it do, Coach?
Mike, Bridgeport. Talk to me, my brother.
Hey, I just want to say shout out to you. Who was the last caller?
Coach Eddie.
Coach Eddie, man. Yeah, I respect what y'all just said. You know, boxing got a fraternity.
Yeah.
And those guys are millionaires, man. I'm happy you guys just said that shit. They don't see it the way, like you said, it's rich, there's poor.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a class. It's definitely a class. You know, us people in the minority, we always looking to point a finger or take out some kind of passion on, or passion that take on us. You know, but I really respect that, you know. But shout out to boxing, shout out to Turk, shout out to all the promoters. You know, the sports is going in a good direction. Regardless of what, this is prize fighting, Coach. And you gotta sell yourself.
It's prize fighting.
You know, Floyd, when Floyd paid off his contract, he actually paid out of his own money for his promotion.
Yeah.
He actually paid his opponent.
Yeah. Yeah, because he was the promoter. Yeah, he was the promoter. When he was working with Golden Boy, he had to deal directly with Showtime Network. Deal with Showtime, but he was working through Golden Boy, and he fought all of Golden Boy fighters. So how Floyd made all his money, instead of depending on the network to put the money up or whatever the case may be. Well, I'm not saying he would get money from the network, but Floyd was paying for his own cars, paying for the undercard, paying for his opponent. He was doing all of that. These fighters today ain't doing that. Floyd did that. So when people sit back and say, yeah, man, we following Floyd green print. Okay, well, if you're gonna follow Floyd green print, do what Floyd did. Floyd green print ain't just, I'm gonna just fight Mexicans, and then once I make me some money, I'm gonna go buy me some watches and cars. That's not the green print. Yeah.
Yeah. And as we were speaking, Floyd was accepted by the elite.
Yeah, he was accepted by the elite.
Because of what he was doing.
He was accepted by the elite. Facts. Floyd benefits.
You understand?
Floyd is an elitist now because he's rich. He got the money, and this is what I'm trying to tell people.
Correct.
Mike, y'all looking at it's an ism. You looking at it as racism, but this ain't a racism thing. This is a classism thing.
Correct.
It's an ism. It's an ism. It's racism to you, but it's classism to them, and they are a part of the same class, and you're not invited to the school.
Fact.
You get what I'm saying, Mike?
I'm so happy Nah, that's real talk, Coach. I had to call in on this topic because you and Coach Eddie, salute to that topic right there.
All right, salute.
Do your
fellas.
thing, Coach.
Shout out to Mike. Yeah. Yeah, man. Like, you know, again, I listen. These fighters should get all the money they want, bro. They should get all the money they want. If you got a motherfucker gonna pay you a whole bunch of money, and again, that's the Arab money. If they want to pay these niggas all the money they want, they can pay them. I don't see these niggas complaining. Terrence Crawford ain't complaining. Shakur Stevenson, he was complaining, but he ain't complaining no more. Teofimo Lopez ain't complaining. Ryan Garcia ain't complaining. Got hit in the head with a bag full of money. Dane Dubois ain't complaining. They signed the contract and got the check. Did you get what I'm saying? They signed the contract and got the check. And that's the bottom line. See, that's why I look at it. That's the bottom. I wouldn't like, cause I used to be just like that. I used to be just like some of these callers. And then, you know, it took me 25 years it took me 25 years to wake up to this shit. But once I woke up to it and snapped out of it, I'm like, oh. I had to get outside of, hold on. I had to get outside of my paradigm. Once I got outside of my paradigm and started looking at things a little differently, and I started like being around a different class of people and such like that there, I'm like, oh, I see what this is. Yeah, he's still going through the ism, but the ends justify the means, but he's going through a different kind of ism. So he's in a different class. He's in a different tax bracket. So he may peddle the ism to me, but when he around those people, he playing the game. All them live in the same neighborhood, dog. They live in the same neighborhood. They see each other every day, walk outside their house, put their garbage can on the curb for the garbage man to get there. Hey, Oscar, how you doing? Hey, Bill, what's going on, buddy? Yeah, that was a good doggone video you did on Clapback Thursdays. Yeah, Bill, I know. Hey, well, you know what, man? Who's cutting your lawn? Oh, man, I got this Mexican guy. You know, he's cutting my lawn. He does a good job. Hey, give me his car so he can come cut my lawn. All right, Bill, go ahead. Hey, Oscar, yeah, I'm finna drop another video about you. Oh, don't worry about it, Bill. Go ahead, buddy. I see you at the next neighborhood watch meeting. True. That's what's going on. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, Coach. This is Allie from Dowland, and I'm listening to the conversation. And I agree with you 100% that boxing is a fraternity, right? What we're seeing, what they allow us to see is no more than theater. My question for Coach Eddie is, does he consider Edgar Berlanga a racist when he refers to Canelo as a nigger, or when he refers to the white boxer Plant as a nigger?
Yeah.
We've also heard Keyshawn and Shakur refer to Ryan as a nigger, right?
Yeah.
So does he consider them as being racist?
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak for Coach Eddie. I can't, so he won't have to be the one to answer that. But, you know, like, this shit is so crazy because, you know, like Puerto Ricans in New York and, you know, and blacks live around each other. It's a cultural thing. You know, I've heard everything in the world where if you say it with the NA, it's okay with the GA versus the ER, and it's the context of what you're saying it. So, it's like, it seems like people pick and choose what hill they want to die on and go to war for. And I'm like, man, I just, you know, I used to fight the good fight like that, so I do get it, I understand, but the shit just, I don't know. I can't speak for Coach Eddie, though. I can't speak for him. That's something.
Yeah, I just think that the language isn't specific to African Americans, but you also hear Hispanics use it towards white people. You hear it African Americans use it towards Hispanic people. It's just the way I say young people speak.
Yeah, that's what they speak. Yeah, I heard Mexicans say it. Like if you go out in LA, if you go out in LA, them young Mexican Americans that's coming up, the Chicanos that's coming up, shit, they call each other that all the goddamn time, and others as well. So I mean, that just relative to the situation.
Just food for thought. Thank you.
All right, salute. Yeah, I can't speak for Coach Eddie. Shout out to Texas 16 South. He say it's the demeanor or the underlying tones. You know what? But it's also to the interpretation. It's also to the interpretation of the individual. It's also to the interpretation of the individual too. What you say, fam? On Texas 16 South, because you may hear it as disrespectful. Another person may see it as endearing. So I don't know. It just depends on how you say it. So again, but as it relates to back to boxing, I don't think, again, I see what Bob Arum is saying. He makes a valid point. If fighters getting guaranteed money, they lose their hunger to drive and they want to fight or compete. But however, that's not always the case, because Tyson Fury got a boatload of money from Turki Alalshihk twice. Alexander Usyk got a boatload of money from Turki Alalshihk twice. And guess what happened? They both fought like hell. So we can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Last weekend was a stinker, but again, there's a lot of cards that Turki Alalshihk has put on. They were great cards. So we can't throw the baby out with the bathwater as related to that. Last week was a stinker. That is true. But that doesn't represent all of what we've seen thus far. So let's, and Bob Arum, hold on. And Bob Arum can't talk about, well, they're paying these fighters too much money and there's no incentive. You are literally in bed with the same guy who you're accusing of paying these fighters too much money, which is not giving them the drive. You in bed with him, Bob. You in bed with Turki Alalshihk. PBC is in bed with Turki Alalshihk. Matchroom is in bed with Turki Alalshihk. Queensberry's in bed with Turki Alalshihk. And Golden Boy's in bed with Turki Alalshihk. Literally. So can't have it both ways. Call what's the name you call it from?
Hello, Coach. It's No Cafe Entertainment. Bob Arum here from the UK. I was calling to agree with you. It's an absolute disgrace how much these guys are getting paid, Coach. It's an absolute disgrace. No, but jokes aside, Coach. Yeah, I called in because we can't grace over that last call, because I was hoping that the female had some sort of, Caucasian, some sort of melanin in her. But anyway, Coach, brilliant show. I just wanted to call in because I couldn't believe what my ears heard there for a second, Coach. I think on the racial thing, we don't really want to go into the race thing, but I think that, a lot of stuff is swept under the rug. And I think I love your position on things, Coach, where you're like, okay, look, things are like how they are, but okay, what do you want me to do about it? At the end of the day, all we can do as men is just obviously look after our household and crack on with the situation and do the best that we can do with the people that are around us. But other than that, Coach, absolute great show. And I don't know who that lady was that called just before I called, but she was throwing around the N-word kind of heavy still. But other than that, Coach, salute, No Cap Entertainment. Hopefully you get the joke regarding the Bob Arum thing.
All right.
Let's take time.
Shout out to Polo Boy. John Martinez, what's up, fam? Man, hey, look here. The boxing, one of the boxing is, John Martinez, we got to call you a boxing historian. Shout out to John Martinez. John, wait, where you at? Where you at, fam? Let me pull him up, man. John Martinez, what's up, man? He said, new way say the weekend. I totally agree. Well, no, you know what? It's not just a new way, but that top-ranked fight card was good. That top-ranked fight card was good. It was. Shout out to Nay the Great. Nay the Great. Nay, I better see a video in the morning. That's all I'm going to say. I better see a video in the morning, or I'm sending them goons, and we pulling up. I'm just joking, Nate. Nah, we gotta see a video in the morning. You get what I'm saying? Shout out to Unlaid Shoes. He say John, running, we feel the same way about people who put raisins in their pandas. Okay. Yeah, man. Hey, shout out to doggone Schoolo. Schoolo, what's going on, fam? Shout out to Andy Payne. Andy Payne, what's going on? Shout out to my sister, Summer in November. Summer, what's going on, sis? It's going to be a hot summer. You can believe that. It's going to be a hot summer. Highlight Space says she sounded white to me too. Man, I don't know. Check this out. I got a cousin I can put you on the phone with, and you'll think she was white, and she ain't white at all. Literally. Got a cousin I can put you on the phone with right now, and you'll swear to God because she talk proper. So, I don't know. I don't give a fuck either way, to be honest with you. Shout out to John. John, he say, John, what do you say? Cardenas? Oh, shout out to John. You talking to Cardenas? Shout out to my sister, Summer in November. She said respect to the True Media family. Shout out to Summer. Salute to you, sis. Shout out to Summer. CJ from the 504. What's going on, fam? Highlight space in the building. CJ, why I can't see you over here? I see you on the other chat, but I can't see you over here on the Boston on the True Media podcast. Why I can't see you over here? I see you on the other one. As I said before, I just think it's a level of hypocrisy. I think it's a level of hypocrisy from Bob Arum in a way. You are literally in bed with the guy who you are complaining that is that's paying fighters a bunch of money. If you're a fighter, what is he supposed to do? What is he supposed to do? You want him to compete. Fine, I get that. But if the fighter chooses not to compete, he don't have to compete. Carla, hold on. Now, I'm going to tell you why that's a bad idea for a fighter not to compete under any circumstances. Because let's just say if Turki Alalshihk decides, you know what, based on your last performance, I'm not sure that I want to put this money up to see you fight this guy, rematch this guy, whatever. You don't fuck yourself. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I'm saying you don't fuck yourself. So it really doesn't pay to put on too much of a stinker. This is why when we saw Tyson Fury, the Otis and Usyk, they were trying to knock each other head off. Tyson Fury made over $100 million in 2 fights fighting Alexander Usyk. Now he got to give Frank Warren his cut and Bob his cut and taxes and all that stuff there. But you get what I'm saying? But he didn't come in there and fought Usyk the way he fought Vladimir Klitschko. He was trying to get him out of there. Usyk was trying to get tight, and Usyk made over $100 million 2 fights before Tyson Fury. He was trying to get him out of there. Look at doggone Beterbiev and Bivol. They got paid a whole lot of money. They still went at it because there's a sense of pride. What makes a fighter fight? You know, the hunger, the drive. He has a sense of pride. I want to prove that I'm the best while making money doing it. That hunger is there. If you don't have the hunger anymore, then, you see fighters, well, I ain't as hungry anymore, dog. I really don't want to run these. I used to run 7 miles a day, but, now I'm just running, 2 miles or whatever. You know what I mean? I mean, it happens, bro. People get content. It happens in life. Carter, what's your name? Where you call it from?
It's Mayo from the show. What's going on, Coach?
Mayo, Chi-Town. Talk to me, brother.
Excuse me. Yeah, what's going on, Coach? Yeah, I was just calling a comment on the show, the topic of the show we was just recently talking about. Now, like, I've been around nothing but like black communities my whole life. So my first experience going to and being around white people is when I went to college. I was in university. My roommate, he was a white guy, one of my best friends to this day. But he's in a fraternity, so I'm hanging out with him at the frat house. And I'm the only black person now. It's probably about 30 of them now. Guy comes in the door. Before saying anybody, he says, "Hey, what's up, my niggas?" He look at me, he's like, "Oh, shit, my bad. I didn't know you was here." We walked around. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, not only do Mexicans use niggas, white people use niggas. You know what I'm saying? To themselves. Like, everybody said that shit. So, that's besides the point. I wanted to ask you, like, what do you think it is? Because I hear you saying, like, all these boxers and fraternities and stuff like that. What do you think it is, like, with, I guess, these black athletes, when they make money, like, do they just, like, not see race or something? Or is it just, like, they just cool with it? Or, like, what is it when somebody leaves the tax bracket? Because these dudes, you will follow these boxers. They ain't, they was born in the money. You know what I'm saying? They get their money through, working. So what do you think it is about, like, making money that make you probably less sensitive towards that form of disrespect?
I mean, they're in a different tax bracket. They're making money. I mean, they got other people from different races and nationalities that's helped them get to make the type of money that they're making. I really don't know. Everybody's ambition is different. You have some people, they feel a certain way when they are on a lower level. Then when they get some money and get on a higher level, they paradigm change. They see things totally different. It's a paradigm shift. And the paradigm is the way your paradigm is how you view the world.
Your perspective.
Yeah, your perspective, how you view the world. So people perspectives change depending on what type of situation that they're in from a socio-economic standpoint. So I mean, that's I can't. That's the only thing I can think of. I can't really say. I really don't have the answer to it because I'm not the guy that's in their position. I don't have the money. I'm not rich. I don't have a bunch of friends that's millionaires. I'm not flying around the world in private jets, going to different countries and this and that. So I really can't relate to it. I really don't have an answer for you.
That was, what? I like the answer you did just gave. Like the impositions, people from other races help them get to this position, so you probably have different views about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I like that answer. All right, thanks. Good show as always, Coach.
Yes, sir. Salute, fam. Shout out to man from the side. I mean, like I said, everybody's paradigm is different, bro. Everybody's paradigm is different. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, so. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's up, Mo?
Ron, boy, talk to me
let
two
me
times.
piggyback. Yeah, let me piggyback off this nigga thing. And I don't really use the word nigga that much, but we at the point now, and this is where we at. And me and you, pretty much, I think we in the same boat. Racism is the last thing I worry about. I done hit a certain age. It's the older you get, the more you realize it's about conservatism opposed to progressiveness and feminism. I have more problems with feminists than I do racists. You understand what I'm telling you? Meaning that shit has nothing to do. Racism is way on the back burner. And this has to do with age. Once you start realizing it's really about the money, that's when you can stop and get out of this. See, black people had this victim mentality. They love that shit. So that's the first thing they wanted. The reason why you couldn't get a loan. The reason why, because I'm black. No, it ain't. Motherfucker, it ain't because you don't make enough money. That's 9 times to 10 the problem. But they always want to jump to racism. First, you got to change that mindset. You dig? And it's not even about being wealthy, rich. It's just about technically where you get in, where you fit in. You sort of dig what I'm telling you? Like if you stuck around a whole bunch of motherfuckers that feel that they've been victimized by racism, how you gonna act like you victimized by racism?
Yeah. Your paradigm.
I'm black. As motherfucking as thorough and as street as I am, I don't never bring up racism. I'll be like, man, they call me coon, all that shit. Call it whatever you want to. I don't change up the way I talk to nobody. You can ask Steve Kim, all the motherfuckers. When they see me, all the motherfuckers be like, he the same motherfucker. He don't change up for nobody. But what I'm not with, I'm more conservative than anything. And when you get older, you don't worry about racism as much. You worry more about conservatism and values is what counts. Not no motherfucking race. That shit is on a back burner. That's what the fuck the problem is, especially with black Americans. They worried about racism all the time. Well, how come you ain't treat him like? Don't worry about that. You level up and you ain't gotta worry about this shit. You dig what I'm telling you? But that's all I want to touch bases on. That racism shit is blown out of proportion, and they made it cool for motherfuckers to point out racism every chance they motherfucking get. Every chance they get. But that's it. But like, I just want to say, well, if these fighters and athletes all of them use the N word, the nigga word. So therefore, I feel like y'all motherfuckers can get mad if you want. The white boys can do it. The Hispanics can do it. The Puerto Ricans, they can do it. We at the point now, we ain't got time to worry about who used the N word. That shit is that is minute shit that's going on in society right now. Who using the nigga word? I don't give a fuck. That's it. But that's all I got for you, Slim.
All right, shout out to Rambo first. Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at I'm checking my damn email. Y'all bear with me one moment. Phone lines open, man. 530-494-9636, man. Y'all hit the old boy up. I sit back, man, and look at this shit, right? I understand that today's boxing is different from how I grew up. I get that. And, I think once I decided to, and you guys been watching me for a while, once I decided not to be so emotionally attached to the sport of boxing, I've been enjoying it a lot better. You guys think YouTube something else, go on X. On X, they having digital shootouts, all types of racial revolutions on X right now. These motherfuckers talk about, okay, we talking about fight. Again, tribalism is, hold on. Tribalism is, that's human nature. In the animal kingdom, they have their own tribes. Then they have tribes within tribes. All lions don't get along, stuff like that. Different species don't get along, whatever. And then human beings is, oh my God, that's a whole nother goddamn ball game. Whole nother ball game. You get what I'm saying? So, as I said before, I done been around quite a few of these fighters, and I'm telling you, and I think you guys are starting to see that. These fighters, your favorite fighter that you love so much, that you get online and argue about and digitally gangbang about, he don't see life the way you see life. He's rich. He's successful. He's swimming in exotic women, buying jewelry, flying to friendly skies in private jets. He has friends from different races and backgrounds and nationalities. You're down here. You only see things the way you see things, and there's nothing wrong with that. You're not wrong for feeling the way you feel, but he's not wrong for feeling the way he feels either. And vice versa. It's an emotional thing. You get what I'm saying? And whatever you gravitate towards that clings to your spirit from an emotional standpoint, that's what you're going to be passionate about, and that's what you're going to want to fight about. And again, ain't nothing wrong with that. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. You get what I'm saying? Just don't project it onto me. Your fight ain't my fight. Caller, what's your name? Where you call it from?
Hey, Coach. This is John Martinez from Boise, Idaho.
John, talk to me.
Hey there, Coach. Great show. Overpaying fighters. Well, I look at it like this. It's their money, not mine.
Yeah.
If they want to go ahead and spend whatever money that they want to spend on what is their fighter, that's another thing. But the other thing that I was hoping to talk about real quick, and I'm going to go after this. Growing up as a dark-skinned, indigenous, Mexican, Chicano American, I had absolutely no problem with my African American friends calling me, what's up, my, what. I always responded with, hey, what's up, dog? Because that's not my word to use. That's something that I had beat into me never to use that word. And it's basically, it's not my word. I'm not going to use it. Now, I do call my people way, which I guess is the Mexican Spanish version of that other word that I'm not going to mention. But yeah, that's only because I'm comfortable using it, being a fellow Mexican, Chicano, Hispanic itself. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say, Coach. Thank you all for your kind words. I mean, I may know a lot, but there's people out there who definitely know more, and I learned from there. Y'all have yourself a good show.
All right, salute, fam. Shout out to my John Martinez. Damn, I almost deleted that goddamn email. This weekend, we have fights coming up. As a matter of fact, I think we got fights coming up this weekend. Is that matter of fact, yeah, we do. We have some pro box fights coming up. Let me go to Ring Magazine. Look at this shit. Here we go right here. We got Erickson Lubin fighting this weekend. Hold on, we got another call calling in. Y'all bear with me. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
All right. Coach, this is Dean from London.
What your name is?
This is Dean from London.
Jay from London. Talk to me.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that everybody keep blaming Turkey and saying, okay, Turkey is the whole. Everybody keeps saying, okay, Turkey is the whole problem. Why this is happening? I just wanted to say that. And
You got
from
whatever you got
think is
playing
that,
in the,
like, look at Conor Ben.
whatever you have playing in the
Look at Conor
background,
Ben.
you got to mute it.
All right, sorry. Gotta take that off. All right. Look at Conor Ben and Eubank. It was Turkey, but they fought, even if they had a contract already set up. But they fought with their heart out. So we can't keep blaming Turkey when he keeps saying this matchup when these boys are not fighting how they should be fighting. You know, that's what I think. So I just wanted to say that because we can't keep blaming Turkey when these boys are not fighting. When you got the money now and you're not fighting. But look at Conor Ben and Eubank. They fought that the way they should fight. That's all I wanted to say.
All right. Thank you for calling.
All right, check it out.
Yeah, you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I get what he's saying. You know, the thing is as I said before, it's just one fight. You know, the Fatal Fury card. Let's see what this is. Edgar Berlanga versus Hamza Shiraz. Y'all know I'm riding with the Puerto Rican assassin right here. I think Hamza Shiraz is Turki Alalshihk's. I think this is boy right here. That's who he ride with. I'm riding with Edgar Berlanga. I'm riding with the Puerto Rican assassin. I hope the Puerto Rican assassin put this boy to sleep. This fight right here, intrigues me, but I don't know what I'm going to get with this fight. William Cepeda is a pressure fight. He's coming to fight. Personally, I have the Puerto Rican superstar boxer, as Blue Blood Sports TV would say, the Puerto Rican superstar boxer, Shakur Stevenson, outboxing William Cepeda. However, I could be 150% wrong. I think Shakur Stevenson has better footwork, but I don't know exactly what style of fighting Shakur is going to fight in this fight. I don't know. Is he going to do a lot of pivots? Is he going to fight a mid-range? Is the jump back game going to be on point? Or I really don't know. I don't know what I'm going to get for this with this fight. On paper, it looks good. Pure boxer versus pressure fighter. Is he going to fight William Cepeda the way Pernell Whitaker fought Julio Cesar Chavez, mid-range, keeping the jab in his face, turning them, spinning them, stuff like that? Is he going to do that? I don't know. So I don't want to get too excited about this fight yet, this fight card, because I really don't know. I really don't know how this is going to turn out. I'm riding with Edgar Berlanga, and I'm picking the two Puerto Rican fighters. I'm picking the two Puerto Ricans, picking Edgar and Shakur. However, this is the Puerto Rico versus Mexico fight right here. Shakur Stevenson versus doggone William Cepeda. Puerto Rico versus Mexico. So we got a Puerto Rican from Newark, New Jersey, and we got a Puerto Rican from Brooklyn. You get what I'm saying? A Puerto Rican from Newark, New Jersey, and a Puerto Rican from Brooklyn. And both of them got good hair. Both of them got the good hair, especially Shakur. You get what I'm saying? So we'll see how it works out. True. Shout out to Market Beyond. Yeah, man. What'd you say, Market Beyond? Say, Shakur set us up. Hold on. No, Shakur set us up.
Bruh.
No, Shakur, he ripped the passport out. He ripped the pages out of our passport. He stole Kid Austin's passport.
Bruh.
Shakur Stevenson, he poisoned us.
Bruh.
He sent SWAT to our house, and I was outside with guns pointed to me and my son's head in my undies.
Bruh.
I was doing my hair. I had my bonnet on my head when the police raided.
Bruh.
Like, bro, Lord have mercy. We gonna see what's up. We gonna see what's up. I really don't know what we're gonna get. So I'm not jumping out of the window. I can't really jump out of the window when it comes to certain fighters. When it comes to certain fighters, I'm not jumping out of the window. I'm not going to get the Holy Ghost. I ain't going to be doing a butterfly, the Tootsie Roll, the Cabbage Patch. I just, I'll wait and see. You get what I'm saying? Let's see. These are the fights that's coming up. Full schedule. The 10th, what we got on the 10th? Okay, we have Kasake versus Woods. Jones versus Taylor. Davies versus Walker. Navarrete versus Suarez. All right. It's the last call. Caller, what's your name? You call from?
Hey, Coach, it's your boy, round one.
Round one, talk to me.
Oh yeah, Coach. About the pay. I think we all started being happy when Turkey started bringing the money and stuff. But now that these boxers, they're asking like, you know, some of these boxers think they're superstars and they thinking they Canelo asking for more money. And this is the problem now. These boxers are just asking for more and more when some of them, they're not even bringing in the fans, or they're not even bringing it. They're not even putting up a show. And at this point, I'm ready for Dana White to restructure this pay and shit, because if boxers aren't going to just keep asking for money and money and money, I mean, wasn't there a point where Shakur could have fought Devin or something, but it's about the money or something? It's always going to be about the money, but you guys are still getting big pay, you know? And the reason I'm like needing Dana White to bring that 10K to win and 10K to show is like, we're going to need some people like to act like they're hungry, like, you know, because now these guys are full, their bank account are full, their baby mama's bank account are full, like they good, they ain't even needing nothing else like that, but they're still clamoring for more money. But that's my call, Coach. Thank you.
All right, salute, fam. Hey, thank you, man. Round one for calling the show. I mean, you know, I'm not, you know, if a fighter, this is the thing, right? If a fighter wants more money and somebody's going to give it to him, he has a right to ask for more money. You get what I'm saying? Me personally, I don't see a problem with it. I just want to see the fights. I'm not, as I said before, I'm not emotionally attached to boxing, and I'm not emotionally attached to any fighter. There's not a fighter that's boxing right now today that I'm emotionally attached to. Just not. You get what I'm saying? It ain't, you know, I'm not emotionally attached to any of them. Because I understand my scale on the pecking order. I know that I'm not an athlete. I know that I'm not a boxer. I know I'm, even though I did box when I was young, when I was in amateurs for 5 years, I know that I'm not a part of their socioeconomic class. And I'm not living my life vicariously through these boxers. I know that these boxers, I've been around them. I know these boxers, they, you know, you get what I'm saying? So I wish some of you guys in the chat had the liberty of just traveling, going to these different gyms, being around these boxers, talking to the managers, talking to some of the executive people, the matchmakers, and stuff like that. You'll get it and understand. You'll get it and understand. This way, it's much bigger. It's much bigger than just the surface level shit. You get what I'm saying? Trust me, it is. Let's see. You know what? Nah, Pro Box have a card coming up. Matter of fact, what's her name? Sent it to me. All right. Hold on. We got a cash app. Dismiss. Shout out to my sister. Shout out to Miss Black Panther.
Hey, okay.
For dropping that. Damn, dub on your boy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy. Miss Black Panther dropped the dub cash app on the show. You already know how we do it. Let's hit Miss Black Panther with the huggy.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me show y'all. Cause my main man, he sent me the where Bomac at? Bomac sent me the, where you at, Bo? Bomac, where you at? Oh, here we go. So there's a fight in Orlando, Pro Box card. Erickson Lubin versus Holmes Jr. They're not, I don't know why they're not showing it. Like, we got a scheduled fights right here. They're not showing it here. And I think it's because maybe Ring Magazine has some kind of beef with Pro Box. So I think that's what it is. They're not showing the Pro Box fights here on this card. Matter of fact, let's go to news. I could be wrong. My bad. I was wrong. Sorry about that. I was wrong. It said latest revelation. This is it right here. Erickson Lubin would love to fight Bakram Matalazev. Doesn't consider him a boogeyman. Well, he has a fight coming up. He's the main event this weekend. So I have the fight card right here. Pro Box Promotions. Looking at the flyer, Bomac sent it to me. I'll be in Orlando Saturday. I'll be at this Pro Box fight Saturday. I'll be there Saturday. So it's in Orlando. Anybody want to come to the fight in Orlando? Please pull up. I'll be there Saturday. So it is what it is. Let's give everybody a round of applause. I got a lot of family. In Orlando. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Marky Beyond, he said I'm effed up by Bomac too, coach. Yeah, Bomac, that's my guy, man. No Diddy, man. You know, me and Bomac, man, he a good brother, man. He a good brother. You know what I mean? Anytime I'm in Omaha, Nebraska, my fellow Omahaites, they really look out for me. You get what I'm saying? When I get to Omaha, they really look out for me, man. Bomac, and all of that started with Bomac. All that started with Bomac and Bud. That started with Bomac, Trey, and Bud. You know, Bomac, Trey, and Bud. Monty, my brother Shabazz, White Boy Wayne, Miss Deborah, Shantae, Uncle D. Just anytime I'm in Omaha, Nebraska, all of them, they look out for me. So yeah, man. So Bomac a good dude, man, like a really, really good dude. Bernie, Coach Red, my main man, Red Spikes, Saul, they're good people, bro. They're really, really good people. You get what I'm saying? So, they're really, really good people for real, bro. Absolutely. Shout out to Nate. Nate, what's going on, sis? Shout out to $1 Trillion Dreams. He said, what happened to Bomac? I'm just getting here. Oh, nothing happened to Bomac. Bomac has a fighter that's going to be on the Erickson Lubin card this weekend. And I think he got Nigel Lopez. If I'm not mistaken, I think he got Nigel Lopez. Yeah, I think Bomac got Nigel Lopez. I could be wrong, though. But I need to ask him. I need to ask him. I want to say, you know what? I don't want to say because it might not be Nigel Lopez. I could be wrong. I want to say it's Nigel Lopez, though. That's what I want to say. Shit. Motherfucker, this might be motherfucking. Is it Nigel Lopez? It might be one of his fighters. I'm not sure. You get what I'm saying? I don't know. But anyways, it is what it is. So Erickson Lubin got a fight coming up on Pro Box. A lot of fighters who used to fight on big major promotional cards like PBC and stuff like that, they're fighting on Pro Box. I think some of them still have ties to those fights. But the thing is, if they can't get fights with their promotional company, some of these fighters are opting to go fight on Pro Box cards so that they can stay busy because the PBC don't have a lot of dates. And I think Erickson Lubin is a PBC fighter, but they don't have a lot of dates. Again, like they don't have 2 fights this year, maybe 3, and that's it. And then you got fights going on every weekend and stuff like that. Now you do have PBC fighters and other fighters are fighting on Turki Alalshikh's cards. So it does present an opportunity for those fighters who would normally be inactive to make some money fighting on other cards. It does create an opportunity for them. So it's not all bad. I do get it. You got people who don't like Turki Alalshihk. That's fine. I don't know the nigga. And then you got people who love Turki Alalshihk. That's fine. I don't know the nigga. So it is what it is. I don't know whether he's good or bad. I've heard bad things about Turki Alalshihk. I've heard good things about Turki Alalshihk. What I do know is I'm not involved with him personally, and I don't have an emotional attachment to him or the fighters who he paid. I don't have an emotional attachment to them because I'm not in the circle. I'm not a part of the club. I wasn't invited to the club, and I understand that. There's a pecking order. And I know where on the scale, the pecking order scale, I know where I'm at. And I understand that. It is what it is. Let's give everybody a round of applause. Yeah, I understand. I get it. You know what I mean? Like me, I ain't jumping out the window, dog. It is what it is, man. But shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Y'all know what time it is.
I want to thank the whole hood who came out here. I love y'all. I did this for the hood. Y'all know I beat that boy.
Shout out to my dog Booger Ray Leonard. If you are somebody in the chat and you are in love and you booed up with your boo like LMA, and you just every time you look into your boo's eyes, your boo make you feel some type of way, I dedicate this song to you.
Make it last. Make it last forever. Don't let I love me.
Hey, Joe said we need to find out the size of the ring for Cepeda versus Shakur fight to make a proper bet. Man, you know what, Joe? It don't matter. It could be a small ring. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't bet on that fight. I wouldn't bet on that fight, dog, because it's certain. You know what? For me, right? And it's all subjective to the individual. It's certain fighters I'm gonna always put money on. I don't give a damn. I'm gonna win, lose, or draw with them. I'm not gonna say those fighters' names because I don't want to start a civil war online. Because people will go to war with you about your opinion. Man, wait a minute, man. What you mean? You don't want to? Because then niggas want to argue. See, what this what Coach Malachi don't do. I don't get caught up in the emotions of another man about another man. I'm not gonna argue with you.
You wanna argue? I can't argue with you. You mad. Look at you. You mad. I don't get paid to argue with you. Who is you? You ain't nobody.
In the grand scheme of things, dog, your issues ain't my issues. Literally. I'm mad because you don't feel the way I feel. You'll be all right.
Gloria Day and the Set Trips.
These niggas don't play. These niggas don't play. We don't play. You ain't heard. They be tripping. We be tripping. So they swerving on. No faking and no snitching. Hard for the set. Oh, mamas, it ain't no lie. Because niggas gonna bust. Niggas gonna bust.
Let me give y'all a little story time. Story time right quick before we go. I got some homeboys who watch my show every day. They in the chat right now. Some of them in the chat right now. Some of them may be gone or whatever. We grew up together. They know me very well. I know them. I grew up around some real cats. You get what I'm saying? I was one of those hot-headed type kids growing up. Hot-headed young man. Even when I was in the ranks, out of Mars 47, I was that dude that, with quick temper, ready to jump out the window and set it off. That was me. And the dudes that I hung out around was on that same type of time. Years have now gone by. I've gotten older. I got a chance to travel a little bit, see some things, experience some things. And when I did a reflection on my life, I realized that there was a lot of things that I looked at and believed were wrong. The hardest thing in the world is to grow up a certain way, believe in a certain thing, viewing the world in a certain light for years, only to wake up one day and realize that, I was wrong about how I saw this. Because most people, what happens is when you wake up and you're really faced with the truth, people are going to do one or two things. They're going to reject the truth because it doesn't fit their paradigm, their current paradigm, or they're going to accept the truth and then get out of their old way of thinking. Most people will stay in their comfort zone. Whatever makes them feel comfortable, that's where they're going to stay at. Once I snapped out of my delusion, it took me 25 years to snap out of it though. 25 years I thought the same way. Very closed-minded, I was smart than a motherfucker, but I was ignorant at the same time. And it took me a while. I snapped out of it. My grandfather ended up passing away, grandmother, all them passed away. And I just started to see a lot of different things, did time, state fed, stuff like that. And this over a period of time, my eyes starting to open up. It took a while. It took me 25 years 25 years. Militant than a motherfucker. Recite English C lessons, student enrollment, general order, like on the drop of a dime. You get what I'm saying? But I see things different now. Muhammad Ali once said, he say, a man who see the world at 40, a man who view the world in his 40s the way he did in his 20s, you just wasted 20 years of your life.
True, true, true.
If you 40 years old or 45 years old, 50, 60, whatever, if you view the world the same way in your 40s, 50s, and 60s, the way you did in your teens, 20s, and 30s, you just wasted 20-some years of your life.
True, true, true.
You haven't grown, you haven't evolved. But you know, it is what it is. Y'all know what time of TI is, man. Riley, get him.
Look, fuck you. Fuck the plane you flew in on. Fuck them shoes. Fuck the socks with the bell on it. Fuck them cheap ass cigars. Fuck your yuck mouth teeth. Fuck your hairpiece. Fuck your chocolate. Fuck Guy Ritchie. Fuck Prince William. Fuck the Queen. This is America. My president is black and my Lambo is blue, nigga. Now get the fuck out my hotel room. And if I see you in the street, I'm slapping the shit out of you.
Yes, sir. It is what it is, man. Y'all know what time of TI is. This is our boy Coach Malachi. Y'all know what it is, man. Shout out to the PYTs, the honey dips, the PYTs, the pretty young things. Y'all don't know nothing about that. You jitter boys don't know nothing about the PYTs. The pretty young things, the tenderonis and the honey dips. You don't know nothing about that. You jitter boys, y'all come up in the thought era. The thoughts, you know, y'all come up in the thought era. You know what I mean? The Sukahani era, the Glorilla era. You know, y'all came up in the, don't get me wrong, we had them back then too. We had the Trinas and the Lil Kim, stuff like that, and the Luke dancers. But I'm just saying though, it was a balance. There's no balance now. The scale is tilted one way. So y'all coming up in a different era. You know what I mean? You know, y'all, it is what I really do feel bad for y'all. Shout out to the Face of Boss.
Hey, yeah. Oh, that look good.
Round one say, Coach, 25 years was banging the LWC. Coach crazy. Yeah, listen, I thought just like them niggas. Like I thought just like the LDBC. I was them niggas before they was even in existence. For 25 years. I was very ignorant and closed-minded. Militant, very hyper-aggressive. There was no reasoning with me. I knew it all, very closed-minded, all that shit. That was me. I was way worse than them niggas. Cause they just shaped out the laptop revolutionaries on the internet. Like I was on that shit for real. I really believe that shit. I did time for what I believed in. Them niggas ain't do none of that. You get what I'm saying? They wasn't doing the stuff that we were doing. So I don't respect the laptop revolutionary shit. That's why I be like, what you gonna do about it? Because I come from a background, well, if it's something you don't like, you go do something about it. That's the era I come from. So when I say that to a nigga, and he be like, what you mean what I'm gonna do about it? What you talk about? He don't even understand where I'm coming from. Yeah, he don't need me talking to you. Because you ain't there yet. You want to be a victim? Be a victim. I really don't give a fuck. Shout out to everybody, man. Y'all know what time it is. I'm going to give everybody a shout out after these messages. Yeah, man, it is what it is, man. Shout out to Miss Black Panther.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Junior Star.
Hey, okay.
Voodoo Vibes.
Hey, okay.
Tila, North Omaha, stand up.
Hey,
Nate the Great in the building. Shout out to my sister Summer in November. CJ from the 504. Boxing XT. Shout out to Highlight Space. I'm gonna give y'all some advice. Round one, salute, fam. Never let another man or a woman control your emotions. I was one of those push button ass niggas. So I got shot. Never let a nigga push, never let nobody push your buttons. Control your emotions. Cause I'm gonna tell you something. Tell you young folks something out there. You'll have these niggas push your buttons, get you emotionally riled up. You jump out that window, and if you get killed or go to jail, that same Shea Butter Laptop revolutionary who talking all that revolutionary stuff, they're not gonna come bond you out, sir. And when you doing that time, no one's gonna get you that lawyer. You made an emotional decision jumping out of a window based on something that somebody else said. But when the heat, when the pressure come down, you're gonna be the one stuck with the bag. Never get caught up in the emotions of another man or woman. Your issues are not my issues. And if you're upset with me because I don't want to take on your issues, your inferiority complex that you may have, guess what? That's your problem. What are you going to do about it? When I start seeing niggas doing shit, come holler at me. But other than that, all I see is all I see is just a motherfucker just complaining and attacking me. You can attack me all you want, but you need to take that shit to Ryan Garcia, the guy who you say you mad at. Well, I don't like what Ryan Garcia said. Okay, go attack him. Be the leader. Lead by example. Lead the charge, my nigga. Don't come over here crying to me about your favorite fighter. You heard what he said about my favorite fighter? What did your favorite fighter say? Oh, he ain't said nothing. Why'd you saying something? Matter of fact, I saw my favorite fighter rooting for him and cheering for him when the dude fought Rolly. Okay, what does that tell you? Huh? Never mind, you don't get it. Shout out to Nate the Great. Shout out to Texas 16 South. John Martinez. The lovely Tila. Shout out to Miss Connie. I said Nate the Great. School of X-Men. Jamie from New York. Doug Right Side. Round one. No Cap Entertainment. Martin King Boston, my brother. I'm Mr. G4L, full life. Shout out to Marky Beyond Black. What's up, brother? Who else we got? Unlaced Shoes in the building. Shout out to Jose. Shout out to Texas 16 South. Let's see who else we got. WMS 702. It's a whole lot of people I'm forgetting, man. Mr. Kenneth Johnson. Mr. Kenneth Price. What's going on, brother? G5 from the Bronx. Shout out to John. Dr. Paul Evans. Shout out to Dr. Paul and his lovely wife. I forgot his wife's name. It is what it is. Y'all know what time it is. I'll catch you guys on the next one. You know my motto. Don't meet me there, beat me there. Peace. I got a video. I'm finna edit and try to drop this video right goddamn now.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go. Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go.